Hello, people. Welcome back to the OCM Botcast. I am your host, Chad Marco. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. I know I'm doing very well. I know I've been it's been kind of a gap in my uploading and activity in the world of content creation and social media as of late. But you know, as what typically tends to happen with me, you know, sometimes I just, you know, just being frank, I sometimes lose all motivation and I don't really feel like doing anything. And I kind of went through that, but it wasn't really that simple. I think I had kind of a realization of sorts. And the realization was, and I guess this isn't something that I'm just realizing all of a sudden, but it's moving forward. It's going to be my focus as far as what I need to change about myself. And one of the things that I've been hearing a lot about as far as, like, you know, on my journey of self-improvement, you know, reading books and whatnot, is the power of thoughts and the power of the mind, and how in fact, I think the last Buddha quote that we had, let me see if I can find it real quick. Did I lose my space? Hold up. Yeah, so I think the last Buddha quote that we had was what we are today comes from our thoughts of yesterday, and present thoughts build our life of tomorrow. Our life is the creation of our mind. And that general idea is what I've been thinking about recently, and just the power of thought. And one thing that I've always struggled with, that I'm sure you guys are aware of, is, you know, trying to be productive. That's something that I've always struggled with, because I just seem to have a natural inclination towards procrastination and laziness. And obviously that's something that I've been trying to combat and change for years. But a few weeks ago, I kind of had this moment where I was trying to get some busy work done. And oh, my bad, I hit the table. I was trying to get some busy work done, and I was in a state of hyper self-awareness, and I realized something. And what I was realizing was that within myself, it's like these two forces or multiple forces. And there's a part of me that just wants to lay down and masturbate and eat junk food and whatnot. And then there's the part of me that wants to be productive and work on music and podcasting and, you know, just being generally more active and busy, right? And it was a very frustrating moment for me, because it's a very, like, that's a hard pill to swallow right there, because what I realized was, like, there's a part, like it's so hard, because there's a part of me that just genuinely wants to be lazy. It's a part of me that just really wants to slack off and take shortcuts. And, you know, in order for me to live up to my potential, I have to really fight that side of me. I have to really fight and struggle and compete against that side of me. I have to smother that side of me as much as I can. But it was really kind of it was just kind of a tough realization, you know. But it's not something that I was completely unaware of, because I believe that one of the biggest enemies of ourselves is ourselves. I've always known this, but in that moment, it was just so clear, because I felt it. I could feel that other side of me that just was like, man, just stop, get something to eat, lay in bed. I could feel it, and it was so frustrating. It was so frustrating, because it's there and it's real, and it's like, how do you combat that? How do you fight against something that's just so within you? You know, and I think that kind of put me into one of those um, that state, like I'm sure I probably talked about this before, but it's like in Dragon Ball Z when Vegeta lost to Android 18, and then he went off to the mountains and he was standing in the rain for days. Like it put me in that kind of state of mind where it's like how do I overcome this kind of challenge? How do I overcome this monster within me? How do I overcome that? And that's kind of why I was MIA. I was really just in that kind of state of focusing in on well, to be honest, simultaneously letting myself go, but also like not giving up, but it was just kind of like I know that's the battle that I have ahead of me, but I'm not gonna just rush into it. I'm not just charging full speed ahead. You know, it's something that I really like. I needed to, because it really depressed the fuck out of me, and I guess depressed isn't the word. I was more so just bummed out about it, you know. And I guess maybe it sounds more serious than it is because I've known this for a while, but sometimes, you know, this struggle just becomes, it becomes unignorable. The fight rises to the surface, and you know, I got to deal with it. I got to figure out how I'm going to address it. But it's so it's so hard, man. It really is. It's so hard. But not to sound pessimistic, because obviously I'm in the game, I'm in the fight. Like I'm not giving up or nothing. But just letting you guys know where I was for like the past couple of weeks while I wasn't doing anything. That was the state of mind that I like. That's kind of where I was mentally. You know, I was just kind of taking a step back to analyze my situation and reflect and just figure out like what steps I need to take in order to, you know, really turn the tide of this battle that I've been engaged in since for a decade, really, man. Because I think the time in my life where I sort of had the realization that you know, I had a lot of potential and I wanted to live up to it was around like my late teens and early 20s. But also that was also when I realized that, man, you know, I spent so much of my life headed in the wrong direction, and now I gotta undo all these bad habits and unproductive thinking patterns and whatnot. And you know, that was kind of overwhelming at the time, and I've come a long way since then, but it's still such a struggle. It's still such a big struggle for me. But you know, I'm back and I'm feeling invigorated. I'm motivated. I'm feeling just good. You know, I don't want to make it sound like I was just that completely down in the dumps, but I guess my way of dealing with these types of moments, with my way of dealing with moments like that, is to just step back. You know, is to just step back and to try to figure out how I'm going to approach it, because it's a beautiful thing when you know what your problem is and when you're self-aware enough to look it in the eye and you can laser focus in on it. You know, you can target it, you can mark it and say, okay, this is what it is. I got to figure out how I'm going to do that. And that's really just where I am now. You know, I think when I look at my journey over the past decade, because I'm turning 30 in just over a month or so. And when I look at my journey throughout my 20s, I feel very good about it. You know, I know the progress I've made as a man. A lot of it are things that I think a lot of people wouldn't appreciate, because a lot of the things that I had to overcome, a lot of the things that I had to figure out on my own, are pretty. You know, these are the things that the average person just kind of figures out in high school or whatever, you know. But for me, I was much more of a late bloomer in a lot of different ways. And the bloomer meme, I forgot about that. But but I can look back at my 20s and feel good about one thing in particular, and that's the fact that I developed a true appreciation for life. I developed a true love for myself, and I've been overall very much happy, or at least content over the past couple of years. I've had my ups and downs, but I think my major accomplishment throughout my 20s was figuring out, really, as simple as it may seem, figuring out how to be happy. But for me, that's not enough. For me, that's not enough, because I'm capable of much more than just being happy. I'm capable of much more than just being content, and I believe that I'm capable of greatness. And how that greatness will manifest, it could be in many different ways. It can be in music, it can be in fitness, it could be in academia, it could be in just how I interact with other people, socializing, it could be making money, whatever. But that's really where I am. It's like, okay, I figured out how to be happy. I feel good about myself. I feel good about life. But there's a level beyond that. I'm not satisfied with just being happy. I'm not satisfied with just being content. I want to live up to what I believe to be my full potential. I want to become the great man that I know that I have the potential to be. And that's really where I am mentally, is tackling that goal. And again, going into my 30s, that's for me, that's what it's all about. Like moving forward is all about greatness. Like now that's where my mind is at. My mind is on greatness right now. Greatness. Cause I'm happy. I'm good. Like life is great. Yeah, I get it. but that, I want that next level. I want that Super Saiyan. I want that Gear 3. I want that Sharingan. I want the Rasengan. I want that Bankai. I want the green eyes and Ep.0. That's where my mind is at. And I just needed some time to kind of just step back and just let that spark kind of just relight itself. And that's pretty much where I was at. But now this is the funny part. Is that now with that being said, I should have been back like by the end of I should have been back in full force by like May 1st or something like that, right? But this is what happened after that. So I go through this whole mental refresh, this whole mental refreshing of my mind. I'm reinvigorated. I'm ready to go. I've reflected. I've meditated, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling ready to go and to take life to the next level, right? And this is where I fucked up. So I found this game. I found this hentai game called Karen's Prison, and man, I gotta say, it's probably one of the best hentai RPGs since Violated Heroine. Like it's one of the best hentai games I played in a while. And that game really just sucked. I mean, I got so sucked into that game. Like it's. I know it sounds kind of silly because it's a hentai game, but the game has a fair amount of depth. I'll just put it at that. Like it's fairly deep for a hentai game, and the game is even on Steam of all places, right? So I found this game just on a whim, and I started playing it, and I really liked it. But the thing is, it's kind of a demanding game. Like it's not something you can just pick up and play real quick. Like it requires a lot. And I was so into this fucking game, bro. Like, and that basically extended my hiatus for like another week, because that game that game brought the worst out of me because you know how with hentai games, they're constructed to keep you in like a state of like a horny mind state. So like I was just playing this game and masturbating, and not even like to the game, but I was so horny while just being obsessed with this game that whole week I was just masturbating so much more than I'm used to. And so part of the reason why I've been missing was, again, the whole self-reflection, overcoming my mental demons thing. But also right after that, I found this goddamn hentai game. But the reason why I wanted to bring that up, because I've kind of joked about this a couple times on stream, like about making a channel on a porn website, right? And then uploading videos of me playing like hentai games. And I finally did it. If nothing else, I got that done during that chaotic whirlwind of horniness. I got that done. So our good friend Flim, he already found the channel, but I have a Spank Bang channel, and I think the name of it is Chad Marco. I think it's just Chad Marco, but I'm not gonna be very active up there. But I'm basically, it's just something fun to do on the side. So try to find my Spank Bang channel, because I'll be uploading like me playing hentai games and doing commentary over it. I will put the link in the description, but this is YouTube's. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if YouTube would be okay with me linking to a porn site. So that's why I wanted to tell you guys, because I've been teasing it for a long time that I would do it, and I finally did it. And I got like 2 videos up there. But try to find my Spank Bang account, because I'll be uploading like some hentai game gameplay with commentary up there. So if you're interested in that, then that's there for you guys. And yeah, but other than that, I'm back better than ever and ready for action. So yeah, we're gonna get right into it. But before we do that, let's do the Buddha quote of the day. That was a lot of talking. But a long absence is it's appropriate after such a long absence. So let's do the Buddha quote of the day. I don't know. Did we do this one last week? The last time? I'm not. Well, look, we'll figure it out. So this says, he having obtained mastery of self abandons wrong, makes right become, abandons what is blameworthy, makes what is blameless become, he guards the pure self. All right, I kind of got tongue tied there. Let me start over. He having obtained mastery of self abandons wrong, makes right become, abandons what is blameworthy, makes what is blameless become, he guards the pure self. This is called mastery of self. And I like this one because it reminds me of a lot of what I just been thinking about over the just recently. I did that whole video on the Nightwalk vlog about what's most important, and what I talked about pretty extensively there was self-mastery. To me, that's the ultimate dream. To be a master of yourself is like the ultimate goal. What could be better than to be a master of your own devices, master of yourself, physically, mentally, and spiritually. So let's do another one. So this one says, I think it's pronounced Gautama lives as one who has laid aside the club and sword. He is scrupulous, kindly, friendly, and compassionate towards all breathing things. Now, I'm no pacifist, but I do like that last part. He is scrupulous, kindly, friendly, and compassionate towards all breathing things. I've said this before, but I used to torture small animals when I was growing up. I don't do that anymore, but I think it's funny because part of my maturing process meant abandoning activity like that, torturing little bugs and shit like that. I mean, I was I was like the Leatherface of my backyard. I was doing some crazy shit. Oh man, anything I could get my hands on, slugs, beetles, roaches, caterpillars, I was doing some fucked up shit. But yeah, that was like years ago. But pretty much like what that quote says, like I feel a much more appreciation for life, and not just my own life, but the lives of even creatures that would be considered like lesser creatures beneath us, so to speak. Like I'm the type, if I find a spider in the house, I'll try to catch it and release it before trying to kill it. You know, that's kind of where I am now. So definitely I'm in a headspace of really understanding the value of existence, and not just my own existence, but the existence of whether it's bugs and insects, squirrels and birds, you know, just a thought, right? Oh man, sometimes, because we got squirrels around here, a lot of squirrels, and every now and then I look at one of these squirrels and I think about you know, I could buy a pellet gun and just be sniping these motherfuckers. You know, that's that demon inside of me that's still lurking. But of course I wouldn't do that now. But if it was years ago and I had a pellet gun or something, because that's what my friends used to do. They used to get, like, they had pellet guns and they would shoot squirrels and shit. And every now and then the thought crosses my mind, like, you know what, I'm making money now. I could buy a pellet gun, just be sniping these motherfuckers. But again, I'm so far away from that, the monster I used to be as a child. But yeah, just the whole point though is really just feeling that appreciation for not just your own life, but also respecting the lives of the people around you, and respecting the lives of the animals, the creatures, whether it's dogs and cats and slugs or bugs and insects. The only bug that's gonna get it is roaches. I hate roaches. I hate roaches. They getting squashed, burnt, shot, stabbed, electrocuted. That's the one that sells shit. But other than roaches, man, you know, I tend to try to avoid. You know, harming any life whatsoever if I can avoid it. So that was the Buddha quotes of the day. And next we're going to have the news. Give me a second here. Okay, so the first news that we must discuss is the death of Kevin Samuels. Whoa. That shit came out of nowhere, right? So let me just give you a brief summary of who Kevin Samuels was, because I know some people weren't really aware, or they just kind of saw him out the corner of their eyes and wasn't really paying attention to what he was doing and his meteoric rise. So I'm going to just break it down real quick for you. So Kevin Samuels was a famous YouTuber / relationship guru who was known for his extremely blunt, no-nonsense way of communicating his criticisms towards the people seeking his advice. Kevin was relatively unknown until snippets of him giving women harsh critiques of their dating expectations started to go viral. In particular, the average at best video that drew a lot of attention towards his platform. Because a great deal of his talking points were similar to or directly lifted from the red pill or manosphere, he was seen as a leading figure within these spaces that focus on the improvement of men and teaches them how to deal with women of the modern era. But he was also somewhat of a divisive figure within the group, where he found a great deal of support because some people didn't like the idea of being represented by a man that was kind of feminine in his mannerisms. And some believed that he stole talking points without giving credit. And outside of the manosphere, he was often attacked for his straightforward, frank way of giving advice, many seeing his delivery as being mean and intentionally nasty or hurtful, right? So that's like a brief summary of Kevin Samuels. So let's talk about how I found Kevin Samuels, right? So I remember the first time I saw Kevin Samuels was on YouTube, And I forgot, maybe I was linked to this video through R9K, but it was a video of Kevin Samuels and he was talking to this guy. And the guy was going to Kevin Samuels for advice. And the guy, he was talking about how, I think he was talking about how he didn't want to approach girls. He was like, girls should give me at least give me choosing signals or something like that. And Kevin Samuels went off. He was like, how much do you weigh? How tall are you? How much money you got? How big is your dick? And I just remember when I first heard him say all that, I was like, yo, this guy is for this guy. like, yeah, he's intense, but this guy is for real because he wasn't sugarcoating anything. And to even bring up something like penis size, I was like, yo, because even within the manosphere and the red pill, this is something that a lot of guys would still kind of gloss over. But even Kevin Samuels understands that something like the size of your penis is going to have an impact on your dating life. And if you can attract women and keep them attached and liking you and shit. And I really appreciated that because even within the manosphere, that's one of the things that guys still gloss over and cope about, right? And so I was so off of the first video that I saw of him because again, it was just he was just so to the point, no nonsense, no beating around the bush. He had such an objective view of dating and relationships, and I really I like that. I like that sort of no bullshit, no walking on eggshells approach to talking about this shit. This is what it is. This is your value. This is what you can expect. This is what's reasonable. Here's your disadvantages. Here's your advantages. Like, I love that. I love that kind of scientific approach to kind of breaking down how dating works. And he was very scientific about it. And that's pretty much how I found him. And so from there, it seemed like soon after I saw that video, that's when he started kind of blowing up, right? And like I said, one of the things that helped his rise to the top, so to speak, was these little snippets of him roasting women that were going viral. In particular, the whole "you're average at best" thing, right? And excuse me. And I knew it was getting out of control when I saw him on the Joe Budden podcast. I was like, yo, he on the Joe Budden podcast? Like, that's a big podcast. That's one of the most popular hip hop podcasts on YouTube. I was like, he's on Joe Budden podcast. Then I saw him on No Jumper, and then he was on Vlad TV, and I was like, whoa, like this shit is crazy. And it was so exciting as someone who has been aware and viewing this particular space of the internet. You know, this whole male focus, self-improvement, put yourself first, put women 10th mentality. You know, that group, like, what is MGTOW, Red Pill, Incel, what was it? SY, SBM, Save Yourself, Black Men, whatever the fuck, right? All that shit. Like Alpha, Sigma, Beta, Gamma. And I've been viewing this little space of the internet for so long, but never has anyone risen to the level of Kevin Samuels. And it was so exciting because he took a lot of the things that we talk about, a lot of the talking points that a lot of my favorite content creators talk about, or whatever. He took a lot of that and brought it to the mainstream. You know, of course, he put his own spin on things. He had his own flavor, his own style. But it was cool seeing these discussions, seeing these talking points taken to like that next level, you know, and really being exposed to the NPC masses, the sheeple, the normies. It was real cool seeing that and seeing how they would react to that. But obviously, because we all know that, you know, these particular talking points that you see within the manosphere, they're quite controversial because they go against a lot of like societal norms as far as like how we're expected to deal with women and how we talk to them and especially like things regarding like feminism and female standards and preferences and delusions and whatnot. These can be very controversial topics to talk about. And I think what was so amazing about Kevin Samuels was that not only was he able to take these discussions to the next level into the mainstream, but he was able to do so. Like he didn't just do it, he did it well. He was a man who was obviously very self-assured. He was fairly intelligent. He was articulate in the way that he was able to communicate with other people. He's someone who obviously had a lot of life experience. He's the one who definitely thought a lot about the things that he talked about. And so when he would get challenged, he was able to push back with the right amount of force. He was never too passive and never too aggressive. I mean, some people would say like, okay, when he was doing the whole thing with Nicki Minaj, that he was too passive and whatnot. But overall, right, when he was someone that could defend himself under fire. Because let's face it, a lot of people in this space, we talk that shit, but would we be able to hold our own when shots are coming our way? It's kind of like I remember when Fresh and Fit were on the Andrew Schultz podcast, Fragrant 2 or whatever. And I mean, they were surrounded by simps and they were surrounded by simps and married dudes. And they were just shots just fired. I mean, and they were cornered. But, I think they did a pretty good job of defending their position. But Kevin Samuels would have did so much better. I think like someone like Kevin Samuels would have did a much better job than say Fresh and Fit in that same situation. And I think that's part of what made him so amazing was that he was someone who could take these talking points and put himself on the front lines and receive attack, receive backlash, and get shot at, at least intellectually, and defend himself properly. And I think a lot of people just really can't do that. And even myself, like I'm not even sure how I would act in those kind of situations, right? Because I'm kind of like twitchy and shit when I get excited. So, but I mean, certainly I didn't agree with everything Kevin Samuels. I didn't agree with everything he talked about because I think that one thing about Kevin Samuels was that even though he could be considered very much like red pill, so to speak, he still believed in guys getting married. He promoted marriage more or less. And I think that was one of the things that kind of made him somewhat of a divisive figure within the manosphere space. Because let's face it, like, look, you might not like MGTOW, you might not like Red Pill, you might not like Fresh and Fit, you might not like Cozy, like whatever the case may be, because even within the manosphere is different like tribes that kind of beef with each other. But one thing in particular that's agreed upon is like, don't get married. Marriage does not benefit men. Stay away from it, you dummy. And Kevin Samuels was one of the few guys within that space that was still promoting marriage. And he didn't talk adamantly against it like most other guys within the space tend to do. And I think that's kind of what helped kind of kept him like a little bit out of favor with some of the guys within the space. And not only that, I think he also had this. He also had this thing about presentation, wearing suits and colognes and shit. And not to say like that's a bad thing, right? It's not that's bad, but because I think that the way he presented himself is part of what helped his platform. And I think Coach Greg Adams, he broke it down best. He broke it down best as far as explaining how Kevin Samuels' professional presentation, you know, with the suit and the glasses and the little the setup for his podcast. Everything was so clean and crisp and fresh. All of that helped him in the heat of battle when he was having conversations with these women, when he was talking to these women and they were trying to clap back at him and shit. You know, it's not just what you say, it's your presentation as well. Because I think that his presentation allowed people to look at him as being a professional, right? I mean, because just wearing the fly suit, well, not fly suits, but just good, well suited, well fitted suits and whatnot. All of that helped him. But I think also I guess it's kind of hard to describe, but I think that some people look at that as like selling out, right? Like you're trying to wear the white man's uniform and whatnot, but you can't deny the effectiveness of that sort of presentation, right? So I think that there were definitely a couple things that kind of made people not like him or not agree with him about. But overall, I definitely think that, his death was a big loss for the manosphere. But let's talk about the specifics of his death before I move on. So he was 57 years old. Apparently he was at a hotel or an apartment. I think he was at an apartment. And he was having a menage a trois with a young lady who was apparently a nurse. And wait, is a menage a trois a threesome or just a hookup? I don't want to just throw that out there like I'm smart. he was having a nightcap with a young lady who happened to be a nurse, and he started complaining of chest pains, and it turned out that he had a heart attack. And so the lady called 911, and the 911 phone call got released by TMZ. You can go listen to that whenever, however. But basically help didn't arrive in time, and he died of a heart attack. And I know there are like different conspiracies surrounding his death. I'm gonna touch on that a little bit later. But as far as like when I found out he died, I mean, it was shocking. It came out of nowhere, like, because I was just telling you guys, right? I was playing this hentai game, Karen's Prison, for like a week straight, and so I was unplugged. I was unplugged as far as like anything going on in the world. I was watching old horror movies and playing Karen's Prison. And before I went to work one day, I decided to check my YouTube feed, my home feed. So I got out of the old horror movies playlist and I went to the home feed. And this was on my PS4 on my TV, right? And I see a video by Coach Greg Adams. And I see the thumbnail and it says R.I.P. Kevin Samuels, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And when I saw it, I didn't think he was dead. Cause you know how people clickbait. I thought that maybe it was like some clickbait shit. When I first saw it, I swear my first thought was, oh, Kevin Samuels must have got in trouble. Like he must have did something controversial and he's about to get canceled. So I thought when CGA put RIP, I was like, oh, he must mean RIP, he getting canceled or in trouble or something. And then I sat there for like maybe at like 30 seconds. I was like, hold up, like, what if this nigga dead? He ain't dead. So I typed in Kevin Samuels real quick on my laptop, and you know how when you type into Google, it autocorrects or it'll start showing like what people are currently searching for. So I put in like KEV, and immediately I saw Kevin Samuels' death. I clicked it, and boom! Wouldn't you know, he died. He died maybe like hours before I had found out about it. 'Cause the news spread fairly quick. But yeah, I mean, the shit just came out of nowhere. I could barely believe it. It was just like, whoa. I mean, this guy was really on the rise, and people might call me crazy for saying this, but I think Kevin Samuels had the potential to be like the black male Oprah. For real, bruh. If not that, then at least like a black Dr. Phil. But I believe that's where he was headed. You know, I believe that Kevin Samuels had even more potential than what we saw over the past couple of months. I could see Kevin Samuels being a Oprah type figure, and I'm not saying that to kind of to disrespect him at all by comparing him to a woman, but you know, like the significance of what Oprah meant to women. I could see Kevin Samuels having that same kind of impact for men as well as women. You know, kind of touching base on both sides of the gender line, because his biggest supporters were men. It was just that his bread and butter was dealing with women, right? And again, if not Oprah, then at least like Dr. Fields here. I mean, Kevin Samuels was really something else, and I think that you know, even with all the red pill, blue pill shit aside, I mean, this was a very impressive feat when you look at how this man grinded and struggled for years and years. Like, I've heard stories of him trying to sell stuff outside of like stores in the mall and shit like that in Atlanta. Like, this is a guy who really just consistently worked to put himself in a better position in life, and to see him finally succeed, but then like right when everything clicks for you and you're on your way to superstardom and crazy levels of success, you die of a damn heart attack. I mean, it's so unfortunate. But I can't lie, bruh. And I know there's like, I'm not saying this as if there's any evidence to support it, but I did think it was very suspicious. Like, just the timing, it seemed so weird, because I know Kevin Samuels is 57 years old, but he always seemed like he seemed like a healthy older man. It just didn't seem like death was on the table for him. At least not at this time. But you know, that's foolish of me, because death is on the table for everybody. But you know how it is, though. It's like, if you're not doing anything in particular, like you're not engaged in war, you're not a gangbanger, you're not doing hard drugs, you're in shape. You know, you don't think of people like that dying. You don't think of people like Kobe Bryant dying. But death is on the table for everybody. But I can't lie, man. I definitely felt like my initial thought. And again, not saying there's any evidence for this, but I did think like I was starting to think like some conspiracy shit, bro. Cause it just seems so odd that out of everybody that he died now, you know, and because there's always been that belief that black leaders always get taken out early. Like, whenever a black leader rises from the ashes, who has the charisma and the intelligence, and the support and backing, anytime a man like that rises from the ashes, it seems like they always get snuffed out early. You know, like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Tupac. I mean, shit. Call me crazy, but I throw Tupac in there too. He's another one where you can't help but wonder like what he could have done if he was still alive today. You know, because he was such an outspoken. He was such an outspoken and hyper aware, intelligent young man who was, you know, all about improving the situation of his people. And it just seemed like when guys like that come up and they're really outspoken and have a lot of and gaining a lot of like traction, just seem like they get taken out. But that's tinfoil hat Marco talking. Again, maybe he just had a damn heart attack. I know that I've heard some people say that he got vaccinated, but that's neither been confirmed or denied. As far as I know, because we all know there's been connections between like certain vaccines and heart attacks, myocarditis, heart issues and whatnot. And so that's a possibility, but we won't know until more information comes out. So, but just my final point on this is that after he died, there were a lot of women who were just straight up celebrating his death. And I can't say that I'm surprised. I can't say that I'm surprised at all about this, because obviously, like I said before, Kevin Samuels, his bread and butter was having these discussions and debates with women. And his particular style of communication was very cold. He just very cold, to the point, no nonsense, no bullshit. I'm telling you how it is, regardless of the effect it has on your feelings. That's his communication style. And so I think a lot of people, they took that the wrong way. I think a lot of people they took that, and they would hear it and they would think, okay, this guy is mean, he's nasty, he hates women, but my thing is this: is he wrong? Explain to me how he's wrong. Right? And see, that's where there's a difference in how people think. See, I can listen to someone like Kevin Samuels. Like, I'm sure if me and him had a discussion, he would have roasted me. He would have flamed me up. Boy, you living with your mama and all that shit. Like, he would have roasted the fuck out of me. But still, I guarantee you that if me and him ever had a conversation, it would have ended with me showing him nothing but respect, because I understand that all he's doing is getting to the point of what it is and what it ain't. This is where you fucking up, and this is how you fix it. Like this is what's working against you. Okay, this is what you want to do. This is what's working against you. These are the changes you need to make. These are the mistakes that you make. Like that's when you can look past your feelings being hurt and just look at what he's actually trying to communicate to you. Then you can see that, okay, this guy, he just giving you solid advice. He's just not sugarcoating it. He's giving you the ugly truth, the ugly reality of your situation. And I think a lot of people, they can't handle that. A lot of people can't stomach that kind of raw, cold criticism of their life, of their situation, of their mentality, of their decision-making process. A lot of people can't handle that. And I gotta say, especially like in my community, you don't see a lot of guys like Kevin Samuels, a lot of guys who have like that level of masculinity and the mind and the mouth to really communicate with people in that kind of way. Because I think we lost something so valuable with his death, because these are the type of guys that you really need in your community. And I remember, because again, I haven't met a lot of guys like that, but I remember one in particular. When I was going to get my GED, there was a guy who worked at the school. He pulled me to the side and we had a conversation of like an hour 30 minutes. And like, he had that same kind of Kevin Samuels, no nonsense, no nonsense, to the point. Like, I'm telling you what it is. Like I see you. This is where you fucking up. This is what you can do better. I mean, he had a very similar communication style as Kevin Samuels. And we had like an hour 30 minute long conversation. I don't know why he plucked me out of nowhere and decided to talk to me in the office, but he did. And I never forgot it though, because you don't meet a lot of men like that in my community, and I think that if people would put their feelings to the side and just really analyze what he's trying to say, then you can see that at the end of the day, he was only trying to help you. It's just that he was exposing the ugliness of your situation, and he wasn't beating you around the bush about it. But again, you getting your feelings about it because it hurts. It really does. It hurts. Like, I know even when I have like these conversations with my mom, and I try to avoid this as much as I can, but she failed us in a lot of ways as far as trying to raise us. And I try to avoid this conversation as much as I can because I know my mom, she hasn't fully processed and understood the mistakes she made as far as our upbringing. That's why, because I don't hold a grudge against her about it. I forgive her. I moved on. So I try to avoid it. But I notice, like, whenever we start getting there, I see how defensive she gets. Even though, again, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just telling you what it is and what it ain't. But she can't handle it. And I think a lot of women, they can't handle that. I think they can't handle that type of communication style. They can't handle that raw, to the point, no nonsense. Look, this way you fucking up. Right? You're overweight. You're too fat. You're an older woman. Your looks have declined. You're at a disadvantage. You got 2 kids. High value men don't want to raise another man. Like, he was just exposing and talking about the ugly truth of their realities, but they couldn't handle it. And so they misinterpreted it as him being mean-spirited. Let me tell you, I guarantee you, Kevin Samuels never woke up a day in his life and said, I'm going to just be mean to women today. Like, I'm going to just be mean. It's time for me to be mean. That's not what it's about. And that's what I want people to understand. It's like, don't misinterpret cold, hard facts and no bullshit critique with meanness, because it's not that. It's not that. And I think that, again, a lot of people getting in their feelings about Kevin Samuels is a sign of how I feel like we've been programmed to be more sensitive. We've been programmed to be thin-skinned and to not be able to handle shit like that, And I think that's why you see so many women celebrating his death, because he really put a mirror up to them and made them reflect and think about the decisions that they've made and their mentality. And a lot of them, they can't do that. They can't accept that, because it's ugly. It's ugly when you really got to look at yourself and say, you know what, I fucked up here. This way of thinking. Look, my whole last 2 weeks, that was what I was doing. Like, I've been there, so I know, bro. I know, but I think a lot of people, you'll be surprised. I think a lot of people, they never have those serious moments of self-reflection. They never really think about what they're doing wrong. And so when they run into a motherfucker like Kevin Samuels, they're not ready. They're not ready for that shit, because he not gonna play with you. He not gonna play with you. He not gonna play with you. He not gonna play with you, man. And it's just funny to, like I said, just thinking back to that guy I met when I was going to get my GED. He was very similar to Kevin Samuels in just the way he would talk to you, But the conversation, even though he roasted me, I walked away from it understanding the value that man was really giving me. Even though he told me a lot of the things I already knew about myself, still, it was still valuable, because it made me think even harder about the trajectory of my life. And like I said, man, that's what I feel like. That's the true value of what we lost. That's the true value of what we lost. When you have a strong, self-assured, experienced, wise man who has the mind and the courage to just say what needs to be said, you'll be surprised how lacking we are in that. And we lost that. We lost that. And that shit is really bad. And so that's why I'm gonna go out with a good old RIP, Kevin Samuels. Make sure you put the R in the comments section for Kevin Samuels. And we're gonna move on to that's the news for today, by the way, because I've already talked too much. We're gonna move on to the OC and then the main topic and the rest of the whole shebang. So stay tuned. Okay, so we are back, and it's time for the main topic. And so the topic of discussion today is the Bitcoin phenomenon. So before I get into the definition of Bitcoin that I straight lifted from Wikipedia, I just want to talk about my limited understanding and experience with Bitcoin. And it goes back years. It goes back years and years and years. And it's so funny because I can remember when people were first talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and I didn't think much of it at the time. And I'm sure most people can relate. I'm sure a lot of us, especially guys who are on 4chan or different chan sites, because, during the early stages, during the earliest age of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, 4chan was one of the main places where I saw people talking about it. And it's so funny looking back now, because you look at how big it's gotten and how profitable investing in cryptocurrency has become. But from what I remember, I remember just being on 4chan and seeing guys talking about it and not thinking much of it. And I'm sure so many people have that same feeling of knowing about it when it was very cheap, like when it was worth a couple dollars to a couple $100, and then the value of the Bitcoin, the value of crypto, the main cryptocurrencies just kept going up and up and up until it got to a point where you just sort of realize, like, oh, wait a minute, I can't afford this. I can't afford this shit. But I could have if I had taken it seriously when I first heard about it. But of course, hindsight is 2020. But I'm no different. I distinctly remember being on 4chan and seeing those threads, seeing those conversations, at least out of the corner of my eye, and not really paying close attention to it. And then before I knew it, it started to really gain traction. But even then, I was still kind of iffy on it, right? So it kind of went from 0 to 5 to 50 to 100 to 1,000. It's kind of like that. Like by the time you realize that it's going up and up and up, and it's not gonna stop anytime soon, it's already too late. By the time you realize that it's worth like $2,000 a coin, and I believe now it's worth anywhere from like $30,000 to $40,000 a coin. Well, the main Bitcoin, that is, because there are different types of cryptocurrency, some which are more affordable, but Bitcoin is the main one. Bitcoin is the OG. Bitcoin is the one where if you bought just a handful, if you bought a couple coins during its infancy and held on to it till today, or even better, before the cryptocurrency crash that happened a couple months ago, man, you'll really be sitting pretty. But that's my limited experience with it. But like I said, over time, it became more and more popular. It became more mainstream, and I started seeing rappers talk about it. I started seeing different commercials advertising cryptocurrency. Isn't there like a basketball arena that changed its name? Didn't the Staples Center change its name to the like crypto, like crypto.com or some shit like that? I mean, it's become such a big thing. I saw a commercial, or rather, I saw a YouTube ad with Meg Thee Stallion where she was promoting the crypto app on the phone. And when I saw that, I was like, yo, this shit is well, by that point, I already knew it was legit, but it had taken like that extra step towards like mainstream. Like the average person is at least knowledgeable of it, knows it exists, and might even think about investing into it themselves. And so I decided that, you know what, I'm going to put my dog in the race and I'm going to invest in some Bitcoin. But here's what happened. So initially I wanted to invest in Dogecoin. That's what I initially wanted to invest in, but it wasn't as simple as I thought it was. I'm sure I could have figured it out, but I was really just looking for something more simple. And then so I go to crypto.com and I sign up there, but then it's like they want you to have like this phone app, and I don't really have, like, I have a phone, but I'm not big on, I guess I don't like the idea of managing investments and money on a phone. I guess that's just me being kind of stuck in my own ways. But I was like, damn, like, it's got to be something else I can do to get some Bitcoin. So I finally figured out a way to buy Bitcoin, right? That's very easy. So PayPal, which of course I have a PayPal account. PayPal has a service that allows you to buy like different types of cryptocurrency through their website. And I said, that's it. That's for me, because I have a PayPal card. I use my PayPal account for a lot of things. So I was like, this is the way for me. And so my plan was to, you know, as of the recording of this video, it's the weekend now. My plan was, okay, I'm going to take a portion of my paycheck and I'm going to invest in one of these cheaper cryptocurrencies. And wouldn't you know, as long as I've been working at the cleaning service that I work for, we never missed a day as far as payments, right? Somehow, for some reason, we didn't get paid on time. We didn't get paid on Friday like we usually do. We didn't get paid. And so I wasn't able to make the investment. Like, when I finally figured out where I could invest in it, I didn't fucking get paid. I don't get paid until like Monday or something. So yeah, it was a fuck up with my job. And so I wasn't able to invest in it like I wanted to. That's really what I was waiting on before I put this out. I wanted it to have some skin in the game. But I didn't want to delay it anymore. You know, that's why I'm gonna just go ahead and just talk about it, and we're just gonna talk about the shit. And but I still plan on making the investment, and I'm going to give updates in future episodes of the podcast. But yeah, it was a bit of a setback, and I finally figured out where I could easily purchase some, and just couldn't do it because my goddamn bootleg job failed to pay everybody. So that's that. But we're still gonna have we're still gonna look into Bitcoin and what it's all about and shit like that. And I have an interesting thread from Biz that we're gonna check out, and I'm gonna switch things up a little bit when I talk about that. But let's get into the definition of Bitcoin, right? So here I lifted this straight from Google. And it says on the right, Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency without a central bank or single administrator that can be sent from user to user to the peer-to-peer Bitcoin network without the need for intermediaries. Market cap $775 billion. Code BTC, floating, Bitcoin, peer-to-peer. Okay, that's all nothing. Okay, so let's get into the Wikipedia page, right? Let's learn a bit about this stuff. This is gonna be some real this is gonna be some real like numbers talk. So prepare yourself. So it says Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency without a central bank or single administrator that can be sent from user to user on the peer-to-peer Bitcoin network without the need for intermediaries. Transactions are verified by network nodes through cryptography and recorded in a public distributed ledger called a blockchain. The cryptocurrency was invented in 2008 by an unknown person or group of people using the name Satoshi Nakamoto. The currency began use in 2009 when its implementation was released as open source software. And that's funny because right around 2009, I would say maybe roughly like maybe when I started hearing about it, it could have been like around 2012, 2013, roughly around there. So that's about right? That's about around the time when I started hearing about it. Maybe 2012, 2013, give or take a year or so. So it says, hold on, let me adjust the mic real quick. There we go. And it says Bitcoins are created as a reward for a process known as mining. They can be exchanged for other currencies, products, and services. Bitcoin has been criticized for its use in illegal transactions, the large amount of electricity and thus carbon footprint used by mining, price volatility, and thefts from exchanges. Some investors and economists have characterized it as a speculative bubble at various times. Others have used it as an investment, although several regulatory agencies have issued investor alerts about Bitcoin. And see, this is the interesting thing about it to me. Bitcoins are created as a reward for a process known as mining. And so that's what I want to look into next. Like when I do it, like another segment on Bitcoin mining, because I thought, silly me, I thought Bitcoin was just basically currency created out of thin air. I didn't think there was like a process to create it or something that you had to do to make Bitcoins, right? I thought it was just like kind of like if I have, okay, let's say it's me and I have 10 friends, and then we decide all of a sudden that these marbles are worth currency, right? And every marble is worth $2 or something like that. And then we start exchanging marbles, and then the value of the marbles fluctuate over time. I thought it was some bullshit. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I thought it was some bullshit like that. I didn't know it was a whole process. Like, I'm pretty sure by mining that they're not saying like somebody in a damn tunnel in a hole somewhere or something. It's got something to do with computers, I'm sure. But that's what I want to learn more about next time. A few local and national governments are officially using Bitcoin in some capacity, with one country, El Salvador, adopting it as a legal tender. That's amazing. Let me get a sip of this water. The word Bitcoin was defined in a white paper published on the 31st of October 2008. It is a compound of the words bit and coin. No uniform convention for Bitcoin capitalization exists. Some sources use Bitcoin capitalized to refer to the technology and network, and Bitcoin lowercase for the unit of account. The Wall Street Journal, the Chronicle of Higher Education, and the Oxford English Dictionary advocate the use of lowercase Bitcoin in all cases. Ooh, so important. So let's move on to the next session. So it talks about the design of it. Okay, units and divisibility. The unit of account of the Bitcoin system is the Bitcoin. Currency codes for representing Bitcoin are BTC and XBT. Its Unicode character is B. One Bitcoin is divisible to 8 decimal places. CH. Wait, this is now I'm in the Twilight Zone with this shit. I don't know. All right, but we'll read on. Units for smaller amounts of Bitcoin are the milli Bitcoin MBTC equal to 1/1000th Bitcoin, and the Satoshi Sat, which is the smallest possible division and name in homage to Bitcoin's creator, representing 100 millionth Bitcoin. 100,000 Satoshis are 1 MBTC. What? What? I would love to sit down with somebody and have them like break this down, but if you had to explain it to a 5th grader. but let's keep going. Blockchain. The Bitcoin blockchain is a public ledger that records Bitcoin transactions. It is implemented as a chain of blocks, each block containing a hash of the previous block up to the genesis block in the chain. A network of communicating nodes running Bitcoin software maintains the blockchain. Transactions of the form payer X sends Y Bitcoins to payee Z are broadcast to this network using readily available software applications. Network nodes can validate transactions and them to their copy of the ledger, and then broadcast these ledger additions to other nodes. To achieve independent verification of the chain of ownership, each network node stores its own copy of the blockchain. At varying intervals of time, averaging to every 10 minutes, a new group of accepted transactions called a block is created, added to the blockchain, and quickly published to all nodes without requiring central oversight. This allows Bitcoin software to determine when a particular Bitcoin was spent, which is needed to prevent double spending, A conventional ledger records the transfers of actual bills or promissory notes that exist apart from it. But the blockchain is the only place that Bitcoins can be said to exist in the form of unspent outputs of transactions. Individual blocks, public addresses, and transactions within blocks can be examined using a blockchain explorer. I need a Bitcoin professional to to come on the show. I think that's what I'm gonna look for, because this is Greek to me. This is Japanese. I might as well be looking at Japanese text. But let's continue. Transactions. Transactions are defined using a forth-like scripting language. CH5 transactions consist of one or more inputs and one or more outputs. When a user sends Bitcoins, the user designates each address and the amount of Bitcoin being sent to that address in an output. To prevent double spending, each input must refer to a previous unspent output in the blockchain. The use of multiple inputs corresponds to the use of multiple coins in a cash transaction. Since transactions can have multiple outputs, users can send Bitcoins to multiple recipients in one transaction. As in a cash transaction, the sum of inputs, coins used to pay can exceed the intended sum of payments. In such a case, an additional output is used, returning the change back to the payer. Any input Satoshis not accounted for in the transaction outputs become the transaction fee. Since transactions can have multiple outputs. Look, this is basically study time for me. I'm studying right now. Since transactions can have multiple outputs, users can send Bitcoins to multiple recipients in one transaction. As in a cash transaction, the sum of inputs can exceed the intended sum of payments. In such, the sum of inputs, coins used to pay, can exceed the intended sum of payments. In such a case, an additional output is used, returning the change back to the payer. Any input Satoshis not accounted for in the transaction outputs become the transaction fee. So what this looks like to me is what they're explaining is that, and this is just what it seems like to me. Let's say, for example, you bought one Dogecoin, right? And let's say one Dogecoin was worth $100, and you use that one Dogecoin to buy something that costs $75. And so, as it says, coins used to pay can exceed the intended sum of payments. So you're using a $100 coin to buy something that's worth $75, and an additional output is used, returning the change back to the payer. So basically, you get change back when you use a coin that's more valuable than what you're purchasing. That's what it sounds like to me. Though transaction fees are optional, miners can choose which transactions to process and prioritize those that pay higher fees. Miners may choose transactions based on the fee paid relative to their storage size, not the absolute amount of money paid as a fee. These fees are generally measured in Satoshis per byte, SATB. The size of transactions is dependent on the number of inputs used to create the transaction and the number of outputs. The blocks in the blockchain were originally limited to 32 megabytes in size. The block size limit of 1 megabyte was introduced by Satoshi Nakamoto in 2010. Eventually, the block size limit of 1 megabyte created problems for transaction processing, such as increasing transaction fees and delayed processing of transactions. Andreas Antetokounmpo has stated Lightning Network is a potential scaling solution and referred to Lightning as a second layer routing network. Okay, I totally understand that. Ownership. In the blockchain, Bitcoins are registered to Bitcoin addresses. Creating a Bitcoin address requires nothing more than picking a random valid private key and computing the corresponding Bitcoin address. This computation can be done in a split second, but the reverse, computing the private key of a given Bitcoin address, is practically unfeasible. Users can tell others or make public a Bitcoin address without compromising its corresponding private key. Moreover, the number of valid private keys is so vast that it is extremely unlikely someone will compute a key pair that is already in use and has funds. The vast number of valid private keys makes it unfeasible that brute force could be used to compromise a private key. To be able to spend their Bitcoins, the owner must know the corresponding private key and digitally sign the transaction. The network verifies the signature using the public key. The private key is never revealed. If the private key is lost, the Bitcoin network will not recognize any other evidence of ownership. So it seems like the private key is like your wallet of sorts. Like if you lose your wallet, the money is gone. The coins are then unusable and effectively lost. For example, in 2013, one user claimed to have lost 7,500 Bitcoins worth 7.5 million at the time when he accidentally discarded a hard drive containing his private key. About 20% of all Bitcoins are believed to be lost. They would have had a market value of 20 billion at July 2018 prices. About 20% of all Bitcoins. Damn, that kind of makes sense though, because if you look at the amount of people who probably invested in Bitcoin, especially during the early period, I bet you a lot of them were kind of lackadaisical about it, right? They might have bought, oh man, I got 1,000 coins, and oh, the private key, it's on my old laptop, right? It's on my old laptop. The laptop gets stolen out of your car. That's 1,000 Bitcoin. You know, shit like that. Now people would be clutching that private key or whatever is needed to retain ownership of your coins and be able to use them in transactions. Like now, people nobody losing no private keys now. At least nobody who's investing in a significant amount of money. But it makes sense though that a lot of people probably like lost track of the shit because they probably bought it during. I guarantee you, a lot of people invested during a time when it wasn't at the height of value that it is now or before. And they might have been just kind of sloppy with keeping track of their information. To ensure the security of Bitcoins, the private key must be kept secret. If the private key is revealed to a third party, e.g. through a data breach, the third party can use it to steal any associated Bitcoins. As of December 2017, around 980,000 Bitcoins have been stolen from cryptocurrency exchanges. Regarding ownership distribution, as of the 16th of March 2018, 0.5% of Bitcoin wallets own 87% of all Bitcoins ever mined. Wow. 0.5% of Bitcoin wallets own 87% of all Bitcoins ever mined. That's crazy. But again, it kind of makes sense because how many people can really afford it, especially at this point, you know, with what one coin being worth what, like 30 plus 40 plus thousand, right? So right now it's pretty much like a playground for guys who have a lot of money. Like if you're a millionaire, then you can play around with Bitcoin a little bit to try to make some money and shit like that. If you're a millionaire, a couple thousandaire or whatever, middle class, you know, you can make those kind of investments. And so it makes sense why most of it is in the hands of a small percentage, because I guarantee you most of those people are probably wealthy and, you know, they got the game in a chokehold pretty much. Oh, well, did I skip something? Oh, no, okay. Mining is a record-keeping service done through the use of computer processing power. Oh, here we go. Miners keep the blockchain consistent, complete, and unalterable by repeatedly grouping newly broadcast transactions into a block, which is then broadcast to the network and verified by recipient nodes. Each block contains a SHA-256 cryptographic hash of the previous block, thus linking it to the previous block and giving the blockchain its name. To be accepted by the rest of the network, a new block must contain a proof of work, POW. The POW requires miners to find a number called a nonce, number used once, such that when the block content is hashed along with the nonce, the result is numerically smaller than the network's difficulty target. This proof is easy for any node in the network to verify, but extremely time consuming to generate. As for a secure cryptographic hash, miners must try many different nonce values. Usually the sequence of tested values is the ascending natural numbers 0, 1, 2, 3 before a result happens to be less than the difficulty target, because the difficulty target is extremely small compared to a typical SHA-256 hash. Block hashes have many leading zeros, as can be seen in this example block hash. Japanese. By adjusting the difficulty target, the amount of work needed to generate a block can be changed. Every 2016 blocks, approximately 14 days, given roughly 10 minutes per block, nodes deterministically adjust the difficulty target based on the recent rate of block generation, with the aim of keeping the average time between new blocks at 10 minutes. In this way, the system automatically adapts to the total amount of mining power on the network. As of September 2021, it takes on average 79 sextillion, goddamn, 79,000 billion. 79,000 billion. Hey, that was 79,000 billion attempts to generate a block hash smaller than the difficulty target. Computations of this magnitude are extremely expensive and utilize specialized hardware. The proof of work system, alongside the chaining of blocks, makes modifications of the blockchain extremely hard, as an attacker must modify all subsequent blocks in order for the modifications of one block to be accepted. As new blocks are mined all the time, the difficulty of modifying a block increases as time passes, and the number of subsequent blocks, also called confirmations of the given block, increases. Computing power is often bundled together by a mining pool to reduce variance in miner income. Individual mining rigs often have to wait for long periods to confirm a block of transactions and receive payment. In a pool, all participating miners get paid every time a participating server solves a block. This payment depends on the amount of work an individual miner contributed to help find the block. That block. So, what if we learn? Cryptocurrency is very complex, and that's why I wanted to talk about this. That's why I went ahead and took these that's why I went ahead and took these screenshots from Wikipedia talking in depth about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I mean, this shit is like it's like its own field or branch of science. Like this, I had no idea it was so complicated. I had no idea it was so deep. I mean, look, I'm sure that there's probably some simple way to look. Just buy it, sell it. You know, you have apps. You have the crypto app and all that. So on the surface, it's been presented and organized in such a way that the average person can now invest in various types of cryptocurrency and buy, sell, trade, and whatever, use to purchase, things like that. Like I said, it's been organized and presented that way. But when you look underneath the surface, this is what you get. This shit is really complicated. It's really deep. And what I've realized looking into it is like, this isn't something to just kind of just dip your toes into. Like, if I'm gonna do this, I gotta really understand it. Not to this level, like not all this shit, but I need to really look more into it. I'm still going to invest because I have, again, PayPal has a pretty easy way to allow people to invest in it. So I'm gonna take that route personally. I know one of my friends, he has the crypto app. I think he bought some Dogecoin or something like that. But I'm gonna go the PayPal route. I'm gonna do a little bit more research before I put the hammer down on it. But I should have that done by Monday or Tuesday which is when I get paid. You know, I probably just invest about $50 or something. You know, nothing crazy. Not like I'm making a lot of money anyway, but that's when I'm going to finally make my investment. It'll be like Monday or Tuesday. So yeah, man, this is not a this ain't some ABC 1, 2, 3 shit. We'll just put it like that. So, you know, I'm sure you guys know I like going to 4chan. And 4chan has the biz board, which is always talks about business. And so I found a thread that was kind of interesting. It's not the thread of the day. It's just a way to kind of continue this whole talk about cryptocurrency. But I thought it'd be pretty nice. But I'm gonna switch things up a little bit. So the audio quality is gonna be a bit different too, because I'm going to be recording directly from my laptop screen. So basically, I'm gonna be checking out this thread that I found on Biz, and I'm gonna be doing it live. We're gonna be going through the whole thread. It shouldn't be an issue because it's a blue board, so I don't expect like random like futa pictures and gore. Right? It's good. It should be all right to scan through without anything explicit showing up. So that's next. Stay tuned. I'll be back, baby. Okay, so we are back. And again, this isn't the thread of the day. This is just it's a thread that seemed very fitting for today's topic. So I went over to Biz, and then there was a thread where they were discussing cryptocurrency, and it's kind of interesting. It's a big thread, and we're just gonna kind of scroll through it and see what we can learn from our friends at Biz. Okay, so the thread says it's very simple. Post every single lesson you've learned from your crypto journey. So, excuse me. So the thread is about people talking about what they've learned as far as their experiences dealing with crypto, whether it was buying, selling, trading, learning, whatever. So, you know, of course, you gotta, whenever you're talking about like looking for it, oh God. I think they even talk about it here, but when you're talking about like trying to learn or get advice from 4chan, you always gotta be careful with that. But let's get into it. So the first guy says, I'm not reading every single post, by the way. This ain't thread of the day, but we just gotta scroll through it and have fun. So the first guy, he says, never trust a project run by someone from Asia. But why would he say that? Why would he say that? Let's check out the replies. And the guy who replied to him first says, don't trust anyone saying they can predict what's going to happen. DCA out when green, DCA in when red. What? Wait, DCA. What's a DCA? We gotta figure that out soon. And but I already knew this from 2018. So many sea monkey scams then. Never trust a project run by someone from Asia. So from what I understand, because you know you have different types of cryptocurrencies, and you know there are new ones popping up every year, and it seems like there are certain people who create cryptocurrencies, right? Like they'll create a new one, they'll promote it and try to get people to invest in it, and then they'll pull the rug, right? They'll let it get high, and then, or rather, they'll wait until the value of that particular currency gets high enough, and then they'll just abandon ship, right? And then just run with the money. Keep doing the opposite of what Biz says. So if you take this guy's advice, then you can't listen to the first guy. Or do you not listen to what he says? Because he's on Biz. Keep doing the opposite of what Biz says. He's saying do the opposite, so maybe you should do the same. But you say, oh man, it's crazy. Base, this is actually great advice. I do like me a good Russell's paradox. So, right? Isn't this a paradox or something? Do I do the opposite of what you say? Now, what does the guy say about that, though? Oh, hold up. Can I? Oh, wait a minute. That's all right. Yeah. Okay. Don't do anything what 4chan plebit says. Do what you think works for you. Okay. Let's go back. I gotta be honest. I kind of like this way of going through a thread. it's a little bit more efficient than the TOD, but the TOD is special. It's a classic. Be happy with a times five and cash in. So when he says times five, is he saying that your money got multiplied by five? So what, like if you invested 10 and you can make 50 back, be satisfied with that. Or if you put in 100 and you get 500 back, be satisfied with that. Maybe that's what he's saying. Don't trade too much, especially leverage bets at 3 a.m. Okay. Hold up, it's kind of. This thread is kind of iffy. Okay. Okay, this 100% humans are naturally greedy. We must learn to take profits. These principles made me miss out on roughly 200 million gains last year during the shitcoin mania. Instead, I went from 2,000 to 30,000 in 2 years. Been in crypto since 2020 and started with the Uni Casino. If I hadn't been conservative and prudent, I would have made it long ago. My actual piece of advice: stop being conservative. Time in the market beats timing it for sure, but do not be content with what you have. So you have opposing views here, because I see a lot of people who say, never invest more than what you're willing to lose. Again, the conservative mindset. You got some guys who out here, man, like put it all on black, put it all on Dogecoin. I'm taking my whole paycheck, right? It's some guys like that too. So I don't know, man. It's I don't me personally, I don't think there's like a right or wrong answer there. Because if you play big, you win big. You play small, you win small. I mean, it's a simple principle. I think it's more so, do you understand and are you okay with the risk that you're taking personally? Are you willing to bet it all and risk it all, or risk significant losses for the sake of significant gains? This is one of the best lessons you will learn. I have a coin that did a five times, but because devs were lagging with their NFT project, it went all the way down to 1,100. It's still at 2 times, but I could have taken 1,000 out before then, bought almost double my stack without ever spending more than the original 500 I used. It goes into my lesson, which was you will never hit your perfect sale price. There were a few times where I told myself I would sell after a certain amount of X's, but right before it reached that price point, the coin would crash. Shit coins. Yeah. But that's hindsight. All right, let's continue. Buy, wait for the dump, sale. It's that simple. Learning, nigger, I just throw money at internet coins when I'm drunk and hope I don't lose everything by the time I wake up. That's the 4chan way right there. Absolutely based, unironically. I haven't learned a damn thing. Lesson 1, gay Ponzi avoid. Oh yeah, it's because some people say it's a Ponzi scheme. Shit coins are shit. Only speculate on BTC and ETH. Which exchange? Okay. These principles make me. Oh yeah. That's the same one. So I'm assuming that when he says shit coins, he's talking about the influx of like new cryptocurrencies, and it sounds like he's trying to say, only focus on like the big boy cryptocurrencies. Don't try to invest in like all these little minor ones, because you're broke. Just have complete and utter faith in your distrust of biz. Lots of sociopaths give the opposite of good advice deliberately. See all the Luna threads encouraging to put money into a rug pulling coin. Keck. Damn. Don't trust anyone. Okay, I read that one. Okay, don't trade too much, especially leverage bet. Okay, crypto is gay. End of story. I don't think I will. If you are interested, I can give private tutoring starting at 1 ETAs per session. Living in my car isn't so bad. Always do the opposite of the pleb. Sell on the way up, buy on the way down. That's all you have to do. Ni hao, wealthy Chinaman. Don't hold. Sell when you think it has mooned enough. Wait until it dumps. I could have made so much money if I hadn't hold it. Okay. When you get euphoric, it's time to sell. I like that. I like that. When you get euphoric, it's time to sell. Like when you feel the when you feel those feel good chemicals in your brain, when you look at when you look at your investment and how much you would make versus what you put into it, and you start to feel giddy about it, like you get a little Bill Cosby pudding face. That, yeah, that might be the time to get rid of it. Oh man, I kind of like that. I like that. I like that right there. When you get euphoric, it's time to sell. The only thing I've learned from any of this is to purchase, renovate, and rent out houses. Purchase, renovate, and rent out houses. Yeah. So I mean, that's yeah, but that's getting into real estate, right? That's real estate, right? When you buy houses and sell shit, buy them, sell them. Every single coin is a scam, and eventually someone is going to be left holding the bag. Now, I can't even say that that's necessarily wrong, right? Because still, I know that cryptocurrency is backed by a certain level of legitimacy, right? Because of mining and Mr. Satoshi and all that. Like it's not like it's just like currency out of thin air. There's like a backing to it, right? There's weight to it. But still, man, it you can't ignore, because when you look at some of the scams associated with newer cryptocurrencies that kind of came out of nowhere, were promoted. Oh, invest in this, invest, please, please. And then the rug gets pulled out, and then boom, everything crashes, and again, somebody's left with the bag. Someone, oh man, I invested 2,000, and at the most I could get what, $10 back, some shit like that, right? But I think it seems like one of those things where as long as you have enough people who believe in it, who invest in it, who participate in the buying, selling, and trading of any particular currency, then that's the lifeline. It'll stay alive, right? But the second it crashes beyond repair, I mean, it's pretty much, it would pretty much be like the Titanic. Once it hits the iceberg, that's that's it. Whatever you got left, that's what you got. You got to get on the lifeboat and go. Only invest in physical goods that are. Oh, hold up, I fucked up there. Oh, hold up, we'll get it. Only invest in physical goods that are always in high demand during hyperinflations and laugh and shit coins, while your assets gain value with every new trillion the Fed hikes print. Only invest in physical goods that are always a high demand. All right, so he's basically saying fuck Bitcoin. Invest instead of investing in digital currency, invest in physical goods. I can't say I hate that strategy. I mean, that's the classic way of doing things. But the reason why we're having this conversation is because we're moving into a future where this is something that people can do. I think to completely ignore something like this is foolish, right? Or you could be missing out on a big opportunity. And that's a mistake that I don't want to make again. That's why, like, I'm hearing about NFTs now, and I might look into that shit too. I don't want to miss the boat this time, because the thing about it, what I realize is, like, even if, right, let's say at the very beginning of Bitcoin, you invested, say, $500 into it or $1,000, and look at what you would have now by comparison. I mean, you would have multiplied your investment by a ton, easy, right? And so I think when I look at a lot of this new stuff that's going on with cryptocurrency and NFTs, it's like, why not? Why not throw 50 to 500 or 1,000 into it? That's money you'll spend on junk food and video games and bullshit anyway. Why not? If it doesn't pan out, whatever. If it does, whoa, right? So I think that it's a little too closed-minded to completely ignore these things, right? Because you might be missing out on a grand opportunity. But he probably has a point as far as like again physical goods being the safer bet. Um, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. I never understood what the fuck that meant. 80-20 rule, 80% into blue chips, 20% into shit coins. So is he saying when he says blue chips, is he talking about like the big boy bitcoins, or I'm not exactly sure. Asset allocation, diversify not only within the asset, but diversify among different types of assets. Make sure the teams are primarily white males from the US. White males from Europe will likely scam you or will fail. Afterwards, make sure the white male team from the US are solid, experienced, and have a successful proven track record with past projects. The funny thing is, I'm not even white. The best entry point is September. The best exit point is the end of November. Prioritize tokens that pay out dividends. This way, even in a bear market, you'll make money. Okay. I believe a bear market is when things are on the decline. And is it the rhino market? I hope I got it right. Is it the rhino market when it's on the incline? When you think a crypto is gonna moon, is not, it dumps. When you think crypto is gonna dump, it moons. Never sell. If I didn't panic sell in 2015, I would be a millionaire today, even with the dump. Damn, never sell. I mean, you're getting all kind of advice, so it's like you can't really. It's like, what do you do when you have all these different financial philosophies pooled into one hellish, hellish, despicable thread like this? Sell when you are in profit. Hold cash until good entry. Buy the dip if it makes sense. Don't get caught and hype you. Literally fucking wait. Set buy-ins. I need to investigate how to bear though. If it isn't Bitcoin, it's going to zero. Any investment that is predicated on finding someone else to buy at a higher price that doesn't generate any type of income is destined to go to zero. Also, any investment that claims a return higher than the safest bonds and no risk is by definition a Ponzi. Any investment that claims a return higher than the safest bonds and no risk is by definition a Ponzi. Just like no one has figured out how to create gold, no one has figured out 20% annual return, no risk. Huh. So he's basically just breaking down why this whole thing is a Ponzi scheme. But again, like I said earlier, even if it is a Ponzi scheme, as long as people believe in it, as long as people are playing the game, then there's money to be made. You know, it's just about who's the guy that's gonna be left with the bag of shit at the end of the day. You just don't want to be that guy. It's almost like what's that game? Is it musical chairs or something where it's like everybody like goes around and then you got to get a chair and then somebody's always left out at the end or something like that. Some shit, you know. Or is that Duck Duck Goose? I ain't been in school in a long time. Only trust white people. Copy trade good traders. Compare your sentiment to theirs and cut the extra fat. Never give yourself the chance to lose it all. You will lose it all and you will deserve it. Pick one form of trading and get good at it. Don't jump from shit coins to leverage to options. Pick one. Okay. Only trust white people. Now, I know that sounds very like racist, maybe bigoted and whatnot. But damn. But damn. I think. Oh, man. I can't sit here and say that he's wrong because I don't have any experience in this realm. And let's say that he does, and maybe his experience has showed him that white people have been the most trustworthy and other people have not. I don't know why that's the case. I have no idea. One guy said only trust white people from America, don't trust white people from Europe. So maybe it's not just an ethnicity thing. Maybe it's also about where you're from, nationality and whatnot. But I like this one. Never give yourself the chance to lose it all. You will lose it all, and you will deserve it. Yeah, I mean that's obvious though. Don't like, man. I'm betting the farm on this. Like don't do that. Sell every 20% pump. Very big chance it will drop down again the next day because BTC dumping. Get your initial out as soon as you are times two. So sell every 20% pump. So what he's saying is if you buy something initially at the value of say $100 and the value goes up 20%, sell it at that point. That's what he's saying. But that's playing it very safe. That's a very safe way to play it, right? You're not gonna win big doing shit like that. But at the very least, you know that you're gonna get a profit. But I can kind of understand what he's saying though, because when you look at how things tend to fluctuate, it seems like it's rare that you have those big leaps and bounds as far as like value, right? Like, okay, it goes up 5%, 10%, 20, 40, right? More than likely, if you're seeing a jump, that's going to be temporary. It's going to go up a bit. It's going to go down. It's going to go up. That's the most common trend that you will see with the value of things fluctuating. So I see exactly what he means. Like 20% is almost like seems like it would be the average peak of a jump about 20% before it goes down. So let me see. Chain link faggots regret not selling LMAO. Chain link. I don't know what chain link is though. Be early. Flip and stack sats or ETH. Flip and stack, flip and stack. Once BTC ranges or some shit or starts going down, tether up your gains. Untether when confident or bottom, rinse and repeat. I have no idea what we're talking about. That life really isn't about making money. Oh God, let's talk about this. Making money is about life. No, life is about spending money. Wrong again. All right. Well, I guess we'll never know. Let me see. Okay. This guy says, taking fucking profit. Fight the feeling profit max. It never fucking works. Learn to use various sources to make a decision. This game is about which token has the biggest gang of retards. This game is about which token has the biggest gang of retards. If a token is shielded on Twitter, Biz, and Reddit, then you might be onto something. Learn to understand the quality of the post from the people shilling something. Diversify if you must, but honestly, 2 or 3 tokens is enough. There's shields on scale I've never seen before, so learn to see past it. Most of us know how to spot on Biz, but if you are new, you might not. Don't fucking tell anyone about your net worth if it's high. Don't even talk about crypto with people in real life. There's no need. Keep it to yourself. The payoff is low risk. The payoff is low and the risk is high. Always. Always. Okay, I forgot. He's green testing here. Don't tell your girlfriend or wife about your crypto. No exceptions. Get a prenup if you made it big. Oh, he's going to the red pill now. Don't buy depreciating assets. It's fucking stupid unless it's related to your main hobby and there's no way around it. Pay your fucking taxes. Biz was spurred out about this one, but it's the correct thing to do if you don't want to get butt fucked in the ass in jail. Yeah. This is some good advice here. Let's rewind a little bit. At least to address the things that I understand. Okay. Diversify if you must, but honestly, 2 or 3 tokens is enough. So I'm assuming he's talking about cryptocurrency because you have different types of cryptocurrency you can invest in. You can invest in Bitcoin, Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, Litecoin. It's different things, right? So what he's saying is, don't put all your eggs in one basket. But then don't be walking around with 10 baskets either. You want two or 3 baskets at the most, right? So I see what he's saying. Because you gotta really be. You got basically. I can see how it can be problematic because you gotta be paying attention to the. You gotta be paying attention to the ebb and flow of every single cryptocurrency that you're invested in. You gotta be you gotta be like on top of it even more so. And it's probably easiest to pay attention to your cryptocurrency investments if you're only invested in, like he says, 2 or 3. Don't fucking tell anyone about your net worth if it's high. Don't even talk about crypto with people in real life. There's no need. Keep it to yourself. The payoff is low and the risk is high always. I totally agree with that. Never like my philosophy is the Rick Ross philosophy. Not the rapper Rick Ross, but the cocaine kingpin that his namesake comes from. And one thing about Rick Ross was he was known for being very low key. He was one of the biggest cocaine dealers in California, but a lot of people looked at him and might have thought that he was a damn crackhead, right? Because he didn't wear fancy clothes, shiny jewelry. He didn't drive fancy cars and stuff like that. I heard one story where it was like he's driving around in a damn hearse. So you know, that's like my philosophy, and I know that's kind of going off base a little bit, but I think it's kind of in line with what he's talking about. And when you're talking about net worth and stuff, don't put yourself out there like that. Especially like in my culture, in black culture, in the black community, I think we have a tendency to try to be braggadocious a little bit. Well, quite a lot actually. You know, the pictures of young men and women with the stacks. The stack held up to their ear like a phone. You know, the dumb shit like that. I mean, it's just dumb. I'm telling you, if I ever start making good money, y'all gonna think I'm broker than I am now. I'm telling you, like I'm gonna really act the food in. Don't tell your girlfriend or wife about your crypto. No exceptions. I get that too, because let's say hypothetically you get married and you know you have these crypto investments. Let's say you got a divorce and she's talking about getting half. And okay, but what if nobody knows about your investments in crypto? They know your general net worth and your assets, but they don't know about this investment necessarily. So I can see why that would be good too. But again, he goes into the red pill a little bit there, like the prenup and all that. Don't buy depreciating assets like I think cars. Wouldn't cars fall into that category? Like clothes, fashion, and whatnot. Always do the opposite of what Biz says. Take profits along the way up, buy along the way down. Simple. White people are pussies. Don't listen to pussies in crypto. The quotes people come up to justify their retarded decisions are amazing. We never did it for the money, guys, but for the freedom. I don't actually have money on this bullshit. Post every single lesson you've learned from your crypto journey. I've come to know the true magnitude of crimes of the international Jew. Okay, got the Jewish conspiracy guy here. Don't trust the Chinese. Don't trust Koreans. Don't trust Jews, Tizos. Trust autistic Russians. White men aren't scamming you around 1/4 of the time. Everyone else is always scamming you all of the time. Don't trust niggers. Jannies are tranny faggots. Don't trust women. That just about covers it. Oh God. Look. If you're triggered by this post, by the way, you obviously don't go on 4chan a lot. I think it's kind of funny how I can just read this shit. Like I'm just reading it so objectively and detached because I'm used to this. I'm used to seeing shit like this, but I can see how somebody might see this and be like, oh my God, don't trust niggers, tranny faggots. Oh my God. Like, no, this is 4chan. This is, come on. Pajeets are just niggers, by the way. Okay. Trust Russians. Found the chain link bag holder. All Russians are autistic. Okay. Don't give money to people with eyes like this, dude. Nose and hands like this, or skin like pig related. Oh God. Hitler had brown eyes. But maybe he don't like Hitler. Maybe he's not a Nazi. He just hates black people. I don't know. But I don't know. He ain't say. Look, I get it. I get why this would be offensive to people, right? But I think I was out of line there. You know, none of this says he hates black people. He's just saying don't give money to him. So, oh man, listen to Richard Hart's debates. Invest early in his project profit. It's really that simple. Invest early, huh? Crypto gets attacked by big institutions. Twitter, 4chan, Reddit gets raided by bots, shields, and doomers. Completely organic. The lesson is to not trust anonymous posters on the internet and do your own research. Yeah. Okay. Here's a list of top 20 coins after the 2018 crash. Have a good look at it. How many of these shit coins are in the shit now, and how many of them made it through the great filter? Now go and take a look at the top 20 coins today. Then your portfolio and ask yourself the same question. If you're holding shit coins, you're a retard. Shit coins come and go. The trick to making money trading them is to get in early and get out early too. This is common sense, but a lot of you retards don't understand it. I like that. Can I make this bigger? Okay. Here's a list of the top 20 coins after the 2018 crash. Have a good look at it. How many of these shit coins are in the shit now, and how many of them made it through the great filter? Now go and take a look at the top 20 coins today, then your portfolio, and ask yourself the same question. Okay, let's check these out. Okay, Bitcoin, obviously. Ethereum, yeah. Ripple, EOS, Monero, Neo, Verge, Tron, Litecoin, Stellar, Bitcoin Cash, Cardano, Lisk, Ethereum Classic, Qtum, Zosh, Dash, Golem, Gas, Status. Yeah, I haven't heard of a lot of these. I haven't heard of like half of these. But it's not like I'm really that deep into the culture anyway. But I know I've heard of EOS, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and I guess you could throw Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum Classic in there too. That's about it. But peep what he's trying to say though. Like I think there's something worthwhile in this post that he's saying though. The trick to making money trading them is to get in early and get out early too. And so I think what he's saying is one thing that I talked about a bit. Let me adjust the mic real quick. I'm changing position. Excuse me. But one thing that we discussed a little bit was how you see all these different Bitcoins kind of coming out of nowhere, right? You have different or shit coins, as Biz would say. You have a lot of these like minor league cryptocurrencies that seem to come out of nowhere. And then some of them, they get a little traction. They might get a moderate amount of traction or so, and then they kind of fizzle out. And I think what the mistake some people are making, they're investing in some of these minor league cryptocurrencies, hoping that someday is going to, the value of them is going to skyrocket when it's just never going to happen. And what he's saying is what you need to do is pay attention to the top cryptocurrency list, right? Maybe like he said, 1 through 20, 1 through 30 or so. And look out for the new ones that appear and are on the rise. Invest early and then get out early and just keep and rinse, lather, repeat. And I kind of like that. I like that. Always buy when it's unpopular. Always sell most of it when it's popular. When the ATH is reached, then crabs. Always go against what normies do. Let me check the time real quick. Okay. For selling, write down the levels you would sell at for your entire portfolio. Then when your portfolio reaches that level, actually sell no matter what you're feeling at that time. In the early part of this bull run, I actually did that and did well, pulled out 90K. Then I got tilted, became emotionally involved in the coins, stopped following my plan, and I'm much worse off because of it. Had I followed my plan, I would have pulled out another 200K in cash. Now I have less than 100K in crypto left. For buying, either buy basically anything during a bull run when you're early, less than 100 million market cap, or wait to buy into the deep depths of a bear market when everyone forgets about crypto and you realize you're only checking prices once every couple weeks. Never fall for the staking meme. Don't FOMO and take profits. It's that easy. I'm just a complete retard, it seems. If it looks female, it's a man. Only people with big throbbing cocks are women. Okay, that's a little off. Uh, okay, This guy says number one, take profits. Number two, never trust kikes or non-whites. Three, do not buy tokens where VCs hold a majority of tokens. Four, don't leave tokens on an exchange. Five, BTC is king. Six, yes, you are gambling. Seven, never leverage trade. Put in what you can't afford to lose. Okay, take profit. Yeah, never trust kites. I don't get it. I don't get into that, but it's kind of it's weird because that's something that's come up like several times in this thread, and I know that 4chan can be kind of a hotbed of racism and hate. You know, oh nigger, faggot, this that. But damn, like to see it pop up this many times in the same thread, man. I would love to have like a conversation, like an anonymous conversation with some of these guys, and just to get their insight on why they would say something like that. You know, is there something to it? Like, are they just being like mean spirited and racist, or has their experience showed them this? Like, I hate to say it, but it's like, damn, like I want to know, like, what made you say never trust non-whites when it comes to this? You know, but don't leave tokens on an exchange. BTC is king. Yes, you are gambling. Okay, pretty standard stuff. Read about what crypto is, realize it's low libertarian dog shit, laugh at the mouth breathing forever wage cucks that would never be anything but desperate while they shield the latest coin that's totally going to make them a multimillionaire. All while sipping on some coffee in a house I own, working a comfy remote job that I do a total of 4 hours of work a week in. That sounds like my job, but I'm sure I don't make as much money as he does. I'm just like never buying any cryptocurrency, you know. I know. It's just that I'm never buying is all. Yeah, that's that meme. I work a remote job too, and all the money I earn goes towards crypto. The difference between us, you might save up 1 million eventually. Sure, me, I'm going to spoiler lose all of it, become a multi-millionaire eventually. Wait, is he? Oh, he fucked up the sport. Okay, all right. I guess he fucked up his own joke. Buy Bitcoin in 2014. Be rich. I just keep winning no matter what. High leverage is retarded. Each time you pull off that 500%, you feel like king. But in the end, you will always lose it all chasing that high. If you leverage trade, always have a strategy. Take profits, stop losses, and leave. Tomorrow, the line will go up and down as it always does. Okay, that seems like a sort of a Icarus thing, right? Where you fly too close to the sun, and then you come crashing down. You know, in the end, you will always lose it all chasing that high. You know, that's why. You know, I've been thinking about getting into gambling. And again, just like the other guy said, you're gambling. It's gambling. And I've been thinking about getting into like sports gambling and shit like that. You know, the sports betting. But that's what I worry about, right? Would I get too caught up in chasing that high of like, oh man, I doubled my profits, I tripled my profits, and then just end up doing a going big and fucking it all up. But I don't think that's really my mindset though. I think I'm a humble, content, simple man. I probably always play on the side of caution. You know, be careful. Okay, sell everything and take a week long break or more after adding a digit to your portfolio. Don't quit your day job just because you barely scraped your way into six figure hell, unless you want to burn it all to pay bills when you inevitably get burnt out from nonstop shitcoin gambling. Okay. When people in your friend group who have no fucking clue about crypto, who have never ever invested or even talked shit about crypto, ask you about crypto because they are thinking about buying in, sell immediately. If you make a huge profit on paper, like beyond your original expectations, sell. Greed is how you stay poor. But I could 50 times if I wait. Sell, sell, sell. If you make a huge profit on paper, sell. Okay, he's talking about the damn WebM. That was a funny WebM though. Not selling after you made 200K because you want 1 million is really stupid. Also, asking a woman for advice is likewise really stupid. I would have sold at least half if I didn't get greed multiplied 10 times. Not selling after you made 200K because you want 1 million is really stupid. But you know what you could do, right? I mean, again, I'm sure maybe I'm fucking up the numbers here. But let's say you make your 200K, right? Okay, sell. Take that 200K and then maybe take 20K and invest again, right? Because if it's on the up and up, then what? Right? Is that stupid? Like, am I not am I not analyzing this right? Like, if because that way you kind of, again, you're not gonna make as much as you would have because you have to buy it at a higher price. But if your thinking is okay, if I hold, the value is gonna go up and I can sell and make 1 million, or I can take my 200K. The safe bet would be to take the 200K, take a small portion of that, 10 or 20K, invest it back into what you profited from. And if you're correct, if your original assumption is correct and that it's still on the up and up, you'll make a profit off of that second investment, right? And if you were wrong, then the money loss is more or less negligible. So isn't that a strategy as well? Again, this is business, Chad Marco. I'm in business mode. I like this thread. I like biz. It's all a scam. Marketing is the only thing that counts. And this goes back to what they were talking about earlier about people like promoting these different shit coins and then pulling the rug out from the people who invested in them. But I said it once, I said it again. If people believe and they invest, then hey, the game is on. So this guy says crypto is gambling. If you're in with more than 1K, get out ASAP. Yeah, I can see how it is, because again it's yeah, I mean that's essentially what it is. I don't think anyone's denying that. I think that's I think that's the elephant in the room, and we're all just chilling out with the elephant. We're not making a big deal about it. We know. Okay, sell into strength, buy into weakness. All that matters for shitcoins price action is hype. Tech means nothing. When you see a coin shield on any sort of social media, you are probably too late. Okay. 2010, Ponzi schemes are bad. 2020, Ponzi schemes are good if you are first. I mean, hey, shit. Being early is all that matters when buying into a Ponzi scheme. hmm Next time, I'll put all my money on red at the casino. At least it'll be over quick. That sounds like somebody who made some poor decisions with his investments. But you know, it happens. Never sell 100% of your stocks of dog coins. That Dogecoin, man. Suicide hotlines can in fact block your phone number. What the hell? Sell half whenever you start to feel rich and stop watching the markets for a week. Sell half whenever you start to feel rich. Okay. Sell everything before summer. This is actually great advice. Who are you talking to? Keep doing the opposite. Okay, yeah, I got it. I got it. Everything you hold can be gone in a flash. Always invest what you can afford to lose. I've decided it's time I take some time off the market to cool off. Playing Family Feud on GameStar Plus has been really helpful. So sounds like another frog oxygen. This sounds like somebody who overbet. But I mean, when I hear about stuff like that, it seems so common sense, right? To me, it seems like common sense that okay, um, if your living expenses, for example, are 1,500 a month, right? Like these are necessities, right? And every month you make say 2,000, right? So you have out of the 2,000 you make in a month, 1,500 goes to your necessities, 500 you can play with, do whatever, doesn't matter. My thinking is the anyone with common sense, but okay, my 1,500 goes to my necessities, point blank, period. I want to invest, so I'm gonna invest with my 500, with the $500 that I can play around with. I might take 250 of that, 200 invest, and then I'll go from there. Right? That seems like the common sense. Maybe, if you want to just go crazy, 400, right? But no more than that. But you literally have people out here who would take out of that 2,000, out of that 2,000, they would bet 1,000. They would bet 1,200. They would bet 15. Like some people are really like that, and it kind of blows my mind a little bit because my mindset just isn't like that at all. Even though I'm broke, I'm perpetually broke anyway. So what do I know? When the women come, sell everything. When I heard that slut Novaru on Twitch 2 weeks ago talk about how she keeps buying Tesla and Netflix because everything goes up eventually, I knew it was time to get out. This whole market is one giant scam. This is why people invest in God. Pick any religion. It doesn't have to be Christianity. God isn't a particular religion. Purify the ego so that you're content with having nothing. Total surrender. Become Shintoist, bros. Okay, that you kind of went left with that one. Take profits. Buying just to watch the number go up and then down is not investing. It's just throwing money away. Just to watch numbers go up and down is not. Yeah, yeah. Take profits. Take profits. That plus 5% is better than minus 99%. Yeah. I got wrecked very hard in 2021. Became a wagey, got fit, stopped wasting time on shit people, dropped dog crypto, bought silver and gold, and now preparing for the economic collapse and possible World War III. Lessons learned. Stop giving a fuck about this hellish world. Believe in Allah and wish for paradise in the next world. This is temporary and evil, and everyone loses. Goddamn. Now the religious bros are coming out of the woodworks, man. Always do the opposite of. Oh, this guy, he's giving a lot. Always do the opposite of what Biz says. Do not marry coins, no matter how good they are. Take profits, DCA in, DCA out. Sell very obvious blow off tops. Don't go for one more two times once, and you got a 5 times or even a 10 times, or you will get a 0 times. Remember, it can always get much, much worse. Cash, ETH, and BTC on the side always. Set a minimum reserve and stick to it. Never sell more than 10% of your portfolio at once. Always do the opposite of what Biz says. In a bull market hype, fundamentals. In a bear, oh yeah, it's bull. I said rhino. I'm tripping. In a bear market, fundamentals hype. Always do the opposite of what Biz says. Holding is the shittiest shit in the shit. Fuck shit. Go fuck yourself. Whoever made me fall for it. Fuck you, asshole. Fuck you. Use heckin' ashy on the weekly and monthly. TA is a meme. TA is not a meme, but your TA is just lines on the screen. Accept it. The market will always inevitably and unavoidably fuck you in the most unexpected way. Remember that one wrong move can cost you years and decades of carefully laid out plans. Always do the opposite of what Biz says. Never trust a crypto normie. Only trust degenerate autismos. Jews always win. I am not a good trader and I should not use leverage ever again. It's addicting. Don't even start. The best thing you can do is wait. Buying, selling doesn't matter. I found that when things prevented me from buying in immediately on a thing I just learned about, it always was the best decision. Wait, watch the charts, watch the market. Wait, you fucking retards. Never trust Koreans. Stop trying to make it back right after losing it. Don't hold every single 10, 100 times you did back to the initial. It just keeps going up, and if you are not buying shit coins, you'll be rich eventually, despite major corrections that will always be a thing. It just keeps going up. If you're not buying shit coins, you'll be rich eventually. If you're a poor fag under 25K net worth, you're better off starting a business than doing trading. Blogging is the best business for a poor fag, and it's the cheapest business to start. You can make up for your lack of capital with a shit ton of work, outwork your competitors, which is much easier than you would think, and make a solid income. That's another lesson I learned. Blogging. I might look into that. Shit. I'm a poor fag under 25K net worth, so blogging. I'll keep that in mind. But never listen to what Biz says. I mean, this whole thread is ruined by that because like I can't. But I already know you can't trust niggas on 4chan anyway. You know, any advice you take from 4chan, you got to take full responsibility. I'm not saying everything on 4chan is wrong because it's not. I mean, that's ridiculous. But I say this: anything that you take as advice from 4chan is on you. You ain't getting no receipts, no refunds. It's on you. Asians are all scammers. Learning the fundamentals of crypto is a bad decision and will only result in you not making it. Biz is a terrible place to find shitcoins. Fuck niggers and jannies. I hate to say it again, but it's so funny like reading through these threads and like just like the way people talk on 4chan, like nigger and all that shit. Like it's funny to me, like just reading through it. Like I'm in like my professional podcasting stance right now. I'm in professional podcasting mode, and I gotta sit here and read. Oh yeah, nigger, faggot, the Jews, and it's kind of funny. And I think this doesn't have to be said, but obviously I don't share in these beliefs. I'm just reading the thread. I'm just reading what other people are saying. This guy says, don't get too greedy. The moment you see a big unexpected dildo sell without fear of not catching the absolute top, you won't near top is good enough. If it comes down, and it will, and you feel like re-entering, then do it and rebuy your bag for a fraction of the cost. Shall it not come down, don't panic buy. Other than that, keep a healthy and sane lifestyle. It does wonders for your luck instinct. Meditate, exercise, eat healthy, study. Those should be your priorities. Investing incomes with all that is balanced. I think I'm going to end it right. There. I like that one. Meditate, exercise, eat healthy, study. Meditate, exercise, eat healthy, study. I like that. But also this. The moment you see a big unexpected dildo sell without fear of not catching the absolute top, you won't near top is good enough. I think that's so wise. Because I think a lot of people, when we're talking about buying and selling and trading, we all see that graph in our head of the ups and downs of the value of whatever we're investing in. And I think people have this thing in their mind where they want to sell at the peak. They want to sell at the razor's edge. They want to sell at the razor's edge of that point where it goes up right before the dip. I think that's literally what people want. And just like he said, you have to realize you won't. Near top is good enough. You are not going to sell. More than likely, you are not going to sell the day before things hit a decline. Like, you're not. But I was also thinking though, like, what if the decline is slow, right? Like, what if you wait right at the point where the value starts to go down? Like, can't you also do that? But I don't think it's that simple. Like, things probably happen like quick, right? It's probably like you might think, okay, let's say the value peaks at 50,000. And then you'll say, well, I'll sell when the value goes down. And you're thinking it'll go down to like 48,000. And in reality, it goes down to like 30,000 overnight or some shit like that. Maybe that's how it works again. I don't know. But that was the Biz cryptocurrency thread. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So like I said, I'm going to be making my first investment this coming Monday, Tuesday. Again, I'm gonna study this whole thing because I think it's very interesting. Whether it's a Ponzi scheme or not doesn't matter. This thing is real, it's here, and it's becoming more and more of a part of our society and our culture. And I think to not understand it is doing yourself a disservice. So I'm going to at least I'll throw a couple dollars into it. What do I have to lose? It's not like I'm betting the farm on it. So I will be making my investment this coming Monday or Tuesday. I'll update you guys about that on the next episode of the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And next, we're going to have the actual TOD in the comments and whatnot. So stay tuned. Okay. Welcome back. Today we have the TOD. This is an old thread. This is an old thread that I save. Sometimes I save threads when I know I might put in a TOD or something. This is when I first started saving threads though. And this was funny because this is a thread that I made years ago. So the thread is, tell me about the girl who tried to throw you some pussy, but you fucked it up. And so this whole thread is basically guys telling different stories about how they were in situations where they could have easily got laid, but they fucked it up. So yeah, they fumbled the bag. So let's get right into it. So the first guy says, to be exact, I managed to fuck both chances up and then just in general become a fuck up in life. I traveled back in time to meet my younger self and brutally kill myself just so I could erase my existence entirely if it meant I never fucked up and never experienced this pain. Damn. This guy says, in high school, Bride comes up to me with her group of green text, by the way. Bride comes up to me with her group of broads. Who says broads? Confesses that she thinks I'm cute. Memories of females being absolute lying, deceitful cunts rush back, tell her, sorry, I'm late for class. She was kind of cute and awkward, and every time I think about it, I feel like a piece of shit. I kind of had a similar situation where it was and I'm sure you guys have heard of this, but it was the classic, some girl comes up to you and say, hey, my friend likes you, and then she's in the background looking like she's in a fucking panic, right? And so I forgot how I reacted. I think I had my head down and then I lifted it to hear her out and I put my head right I think I put my head right back down, but yeah, who knows. I always felt like in those situations, this is what I always thought. It's basically a prank, right? So you go to the weird smelly kid, and then you tell him that one of your girlfriends likes him. Now he thinks that she likes him when she really doesn't. And so he might try to approach her. He might try to talk to her. He might develop a crush on her or something like that. That's what I always thought. I thought it was just a very mean-spirited prank to try to get one of the weird guys to think he has a chance with one of the cute girls. That's what I always thought. So this guy says, on 2 separate occasions in high school, these white girls, I'm Asian, that doesn't happen often, show interest, and I shot them down because I thought it was the alpha thing to do. Now I'm a KHHV NEET at 25. I guess they won. 2 separate occasions. I shot them down because I thought it was the alpha thing to do. Yeah, that's very weird. Yeah, I don't get how you could think that. The alpha thing to do would be to plunge their pink vaginas. So here's some good green text right here. So this guy, he has these are like 3 stories. So the first story is talking about getting fleshlight in a big group. Anon, why do you want a fleshlight? Just have sex. Who would have sex with me though? They all turn, look at a girl, ask her if she would. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Never actually tested her or made any move. Yeah, that's a slam dunk. That's a slam dunk. Who would have sex with me though? They all turn and look at a girl, ask her if she would. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, she might not sound very enthusiastic, but to just say it like that in front of everybody, like that was a slam dunk right there. That was a slam dunk right into the box. So the second story, high with girls. One of them literal asked me if I wanted to fuck. I just look at my friend and ask if she's joking. I'm not joking, Anon. I'm like 100% sure she's joking because I'm high. Keep asking if she's joking. She gets pissed and says I wouldn't do it because I got a small dick. I mean, yeah, true. Then spreads rumor I got a small dick through school. You know, just as a side note, I'm not going to go on a penis size rant here. But people act like you're so crazy when you acknowledge that size matters. When in reality, you see so many little things throughout your life that show that having a small dick is a bad thing and having a big dick is a good thing. I mean, why would she get pissed and then start spreading a rumor that he has a small dick, right? If penis size didn't matter. I'm not going to go on the penis size rant. I'm just saying these are the little things that kind of show you reality. I can't wait to do the whole penis size episode of the podcast. That's going to be fun. Okay, so number 3, girl just straight up text me if she can suck my dick. Are you serious? Yeah, I'm being serious. Are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious. Repeat it at least 10 times until we stop talking. I don't even know how I fucked this up. Pick related was me and 2 of the girls mentioned. So yeah, I think the last one is the worst. Cause I get, okay, are you serious? Yeah. But at that point, get your dick sucked. Like if I'm in that situation, then, and I like the girl, then I'm getting my dick sucked. I'm not about to ask, are you serious that many times? Like we about to set something up. We about to watch some anime. I'm just putting it like that. So this guy says, be me, 16, staying in rehab because of scoliosis. Most other patients are girls. Compared to the other boys there, I consider myself attractive. One evening, I'm sitting alone on the TV room. Solid 8 out of 10 comes in and starts a conversation. Brain goes full Spurg mode. Only respond to her with short answers, sometimes even looking at TV instead of her. Conversation stops. Strange silence for a few minutes. TV shuts down because of bedtime. We both go to our room. Some days later, I see her with some other guy. Realized that she was new in the clinic and looking for a friend. 7 years later, virgin. I still regret it. You know, that kind of reminds me of when I was in the mental hospital. It was one girl in there that was kind of cute. Like she looked crazy. She looked like she would fuck your whole life up. Bipolar type shit. But she was kind of cute. I don't know what she was. She looked like she could have been like mixed. Like I don't know what her nationality was. It was like, I don't know what her ethnicity was. It was but she looked like she might have been like Latina, but then also like kind of, she had like an Arab, that Arab look too. But she was kind of cute. She's like a cute skinny. She was a cute skinny, brownish girl, right? And I remember one day she had came and sat by me and she had asked me some asinine bullshit, right? And I'm not gonna say I had a crush on her, but I was like, oh, this girl is cute, like cool. But I didn't think I had any chance with her or anything like that, right? So even though she kind of gave me a chance to like start a conversation with her, I kind of just avoided it. But I never forget that towards the end of her stay, one of the older guys in there got her phone number. I mean, this dude had to be like 45, 50. And this girl was like 18, 20 or something like that. And I just remember being like, like just mouth agape. Like, I was like, this old crusty dude just got her number. Like, I probably had a chance. And that's kind of when it hit me. But to be fair, trying to date in a mental hospital, that's absolutely foolish. So, I inadvertently made the right decision by not continuing that conversation. Oh man, this is a long one. So this guy says, I got a ton of these. I give you guys my greatest hits. 8th grade, Mix QT comes up to me and literally asks me out, but in Ebonics. Hey Anon, so what's up with the hookup? You what, mate? Have no idea what she's talking about. So I go to my default when I'm surprised or have no idea what's happening. No. She gets up and tells her girlfriends I said no. They all shoot me glares. I found out later she was trying to ask me out. What's up with the hookup? Well, again, I think that's one of those situations where I can't really blame them, because girls, when they try to like flirt with guys or ask guys out, they do so in such a silly way. It's like, you don't really know whether or not you can take them seriously. Oop, hold up. I got a porn download in the queue. Okay. Yeah, sometimes I think girls, they'll try to talk to you, they'll try to flirt with you and shit, but it's like they don't really know how to do so in such a way that you will take them seriously. It's like they're trying to ask you out, but they're still being like too coy about it. But I think also part of it is that it's so unusual for guys to get asked out. We tend to just think that girls are playing, or it's a prank, or it's a joke. Like, women kind of have it bad in a way when it comes to asking out guys, because the thing about us, even if you make a serious attempt to ask us out, we're more likely to think that something's up than not. So here he says, freshman year of high school, QT I share all of my core classes with starts talking to me more. Starts asking me if there's anything on her butt while we walk to last class of the day, repeatedly for days. Keep just telling her no because she didn't, and think she's kind of weird because she keeps asking, eventually stops. Years later, I figured it out. Senpai Tachi. Again, this is another one where it's like, I can't really blame him, because this is another example. This is another example of women not knowing how to flirt, of women not knowing how to ask guys out. That's so dumb. Do I got something on my butt? Do I have something on my butt? Right now, of course, a guy, obviously, guys with game, guys with know-how, they're gonna know to jump on that. But I can't blame average guys for not getting these types of signals, because it's just the way girls do it. They always do it in a goofy ass way. They just tend to do it in such a goofy ass way, man. So I can't blame them for that one. So here he says, senior year of high school. Last semester of school, I have first 2 periods free, still show up to school because my TISM can't handle breaking routine. Blonde cheerleading Stacy, who I shared classes with the last 2 years, also had first 2 periods open. Starts coming in early every day and hanging out with me and my fellow autists. Think nothing of it since we had been friendly with each other ever since our junior year. When she moved in from out of state, she would ask me about shit I like, music, TV, sports, everything. Would always try to sit as close to me as possible. Would ask me my opinions on what she was wearing, her hair, makeup, etc. Even practically asking me to carry her one time. This one gets me the most. This girl spent fucking months throwing herself at me, waking up early when she didn't have to in the hopes that I would notice. I didn't. All the hints, the signs, the fucking alarms went over my dense ass lead head like a fucking spy plane. fembots out there who struck up the courage to put yourself out there and aren't getting a response, don't despair. You might be dealing with a dense bot like me. So yeah, that one, yeah. I think that he had like a lot of opportunities to kind of escalate things there. Yeah, but again, like when I think back to how I was in high school, I don't think I would have did any better, you know. It's hard to really blame guys at that age for making these kind of mistakes because really, quite frankly, a lot of guys at that age don't really have an understanding of women, don't have a lot of experience with women, and don't have a lot of confidence with women. And so I think that in order for you to really have that, like, really, in order for you to escalate towards sex, it's like, it's gonna take quite a lot for some guys, you know, especially guys on the spectrum, you know, weirdos like me. It would take a lot. It would really take a lot now that I think about it. So it's like, I can't really blame him because at that age, it's just like, and I'm projecting, but when I think of like where my mind was at, it's like, it's so easy. It's so easy to be in these type of situations and just always think yourself out of it. You know, always feeling like, well, certainly I don't have a chance. Certainly she doesn't like me, you know, so it's so easy to think yourself out of it that I can't even really blame him. So this guy says, girl in high school talked to me about the porn she liked and whined about being a virgin, asked me to get off at her bus stop and told me her dad wasn't home. Said, nope, I got a raid in EverQuest, milady. Got my drop that night too, no regrets. She felt like 15 other guys before graduating high school, including 2 niggers and a Mexican. Nothing of value lost. I gotta say, I agree. I mean, the whole thing about her being a virgin, you know, that's enticing, but it seems like she was just ready to get her whole phase up and going. Like she was ready to get her little thought phase off the ground with him, and he pretty much avoided that. But I don't know. I guess yeah, because I doubt that he would have been the difference to like make her not be a hoe. So it could have been bad in that he might have caught feelings for her, right? And when she was really just trying to get started in being a little hoe, you know, or rather, I'll say she was getting started in being a promiscuous young lady. You know, we don't hoe shame over here. We don't hoe shame over here at the podcast, but you know, obviously that's a very promiscuous young lady. 15 guys before graduating high school. I mean, come on, dude. That's the extreme. That's the extreme. You get around like Tupac at that point. So yeah, I gotta agree. Like he definitely avoided. Like unless he had the correct mindset of just, okay, I'm gonna fuck her for the experience. But you know, most guys that age, you're gonna get wrapped up in your feelings. So I have to be inclined to agree that he made the right decision there. So this guy says, be me. Middle school. Gang of girls rushed towards me. One of them asked me if I want to be her boyfriend. They all look at me without saying a word. Felt like it was a stage comedy and there was a hidden camera. That if I said yes, they would all start laughing at me like I was fucking clown. Girl asking was 1 year younger than me and wasn't my type too, so I instantly said no. Like expected, they all start laughing, but not the girl who was asking, move out. Every time I rethink of it, I really hope it was a joke because I wouldn't endure the pain that girl had at that exact moment. But why tell all her friends that she was going to ask me out at this moment? No, it was all a joke. It was all a joke I didn't fall for. Well, you can't blame him because she wasn't his type. So that was doomed to fail anyway. But what I'm thinking is she might have gotten all her friends to come with her because she was scared. Because you got to think about it. If she wasn't his type, then it's not unreasonable to assume that he might have been more attractive than her. Maybe he was a 6 and she was a 4. Maybe he was a 7 and she was a 5. Who knows? And, you know, typically when women do decide to ask a guy out, when they do decide to be the initiator, it's going to be with a guy that they perceive to be more attractive than themselves. And so she might have just brought her friends along to give her a bit of confidence to do it, because otherwise he just wasn't going to talk to her because she wasn't in his league. Or it could have been a big joke. So this guy says, there's a girl at my work who recently has started hovering around me a lot. She comes over to talk to me, and even if the conversation runs dry, she still sticks around me. The issue, though, is with the mask thing going on. I did not realize how fucked up her teeth are. It is super shallow, but I cannot get over her chipped back teeth. Damn. Other than that, she is honestly really fucking hot. She is a chubby, big titty, big booty e-girl with purple hair, and my dick gets rock hard for her. Her birthday is on Friday, and she invited me to come to her party. What the fuck do I do, bro? Oh, man. Damn. Chipped black. I don't. The whole teeth thing. The whole teeth thing. I'm tempted. Chubby, big titty, big booty. That's tipped, boy. That's my type right there. But that sounds like a pog right there. Like, I might overlook the bad teeth, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Put some Listerine in that mouth. I might overlook that shit. But yeah, damn. It's up to him though. Then the guy under him says, I had her under me, heavy breathing, moaning between every word she got out, literally begging me to fuck her. But I straight up told her I was not going to lose my virginity to a condom. You know what? Mad respect. I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to lose my virginity to a condom either. Call me foolish, but I think if I were to lose my virginity, it definitely wouldn't be in a hookup. If I'm gonna lose my virginity, it's gotta be with a girl that I'm at least in like a semi relationship with. You know, it's gotta be I don't know. Like, I don't honestly, I wouldn't want to have sex unless I had a vasectomy. Because I don't want to have sex with a condom. But I don't want to get a girl pregnant, and I would never trust a girl to take birth control. I would never take a girl's word for it as far as birth control is concerned. So I wouldn't want to have sex unless I got a vasectomy in the first place. Another reason why I'm probably gonna die a virgin, but whatever. But I can't blame him. I'm sure it will be a shit experience, or rather, it will be a subpar experience. But at the same time, you know, maybe it's for the best. Because I remember now what my friend Fresh had told me. You know, my the cameraman for my music videos. I remember what he told me about how he had a girl he was messing with, and he would have sex with her with a condom. But when he started having sex with her without the condom, that's when he kind of started really falling for her. Like he said, the difference was so big that before he wasn't really obsessed with her or anything. But after he had condomless sex with her, he said his attachment to her grew a lot. So I don't know, maybe it's not so bad if you look at it as far as like trying to keep yourself in check and to keep yourself from becoming too attached to the girl. So I don't know, man, but I definitely see where he's coming from. So this guy says, I read these threads and realize I am the robot among robots. My high school life was spent alone shit posting. You guys are living in fantasy worlds, even if you fucked it up. I mean, it's not that great though, because I've had different situations where I got choosing signals or girls were throwing me the pussy or whatever. Not a lot, mind you, but I've had situations like that, and you know, it's not that amazing. It's a moment in time. It's a moment in time where you may or may not have had the opportunity to get a girlfriend or lose your virginity. But in the moment, it's not even amazing because you're in such disbelief, or your understanding of women in the game is so poor that you're not able to capitalize. These moments, you don't really realize the value of them until after the fact, you know? So it's not that great. It's really not. It's happened to me, but it's like you don't even realize it happened until after it happened. That's the problem. And in the moment, it's just like, wait, what? Like, you don't even understand what's going on. Okay, so this guy says, Italian girl on a dating app started talking about her ass. She tells me I have to see her ass to give her a verdict because she's not about to boast about it. Spoiler, great ass. Woo! I'm an ass, man. We meet a first time. She's as cute as her photos and super short. We get along, plan to meet in the future. She calls me one day. I need some boudoir photos. Come over. I'm a photographer. But she then adds, I hope you behave like a real gentleman. The fuck? I go, she greets me in sexy lingerie under an oversized t-shirt. Nothing really sexual happens. We shoot the photos. She's almost naked by my side. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Do I go in for the kill? Or does she want me to act like a gentleman and all professional? She's not sending any signals either. Yeah, at that point, I needed more signals than being half naked. She then gets dressed and I go home. Some days later, we talk. She tells me that it was my fault. Nothing happened because I was too uncomfortable with her and she just wanted to hook up. I never quite understood why the fuck she had to go through the boudoir photos live telling me to behave just to tell me later that she wanted to be railed. We stopped talking sometime after that. And you know, this is another issue. This is another issue with talking to dealing with women, is that they tend to beat around the bush when it comes to hooking up. You know, they want the guy to escalate, and even worse, they'll put up certain barriers to make it to like they'll put up barriers to discourage you from escalating to sex while wanting you to escalate towards sex, right? And that's what she did with the whole act like a gentleman thing, right? Because that's one of the main things that seemed to have discouraged him from escalating, because he felt like, oh, I got to be professional. You know, it's like me as a rapper. If I'm making a music video and let's say like I hire a girl to be in my music video or something, I'm not going to try to talk to her. I'm not going to try to hit on her because, you know, this is, in my mind, I should be professional. I shouldn't use my craft as an avenue to try to fuck bitches that I'm working with, right? Or women, young ladies, the young ladies that I might be collaborating with, right? And so I can understand how he feels, because if he's a photographer, then you want to be professional. You don't want to be that sleazeball that's using your craft as a means to get pussy, you know. At least as far as like not the people you're working with, right? It's not just some girl who knows you're a photographer. Like, you guys are working together. So I can understand why he thought like that. But it's just like he said, man. It's like why did she go through all the bullshit when all she wanted to do was hook up, you know? And I think really what messed it up was the situation that she put him in. She put him in a professional mindset, but expected him to be in a sexual mindset, which is so stupid. She literally put this guy in his professional clothes, but then expected him to somehow just shift out of that and start fucking her. I mean, obviously, again, this woman does not understand how good guys think. I know that sounds crazy now to say, like, but good men, like, this is a good dude. This is how good guys think, right? I should be professional. I'm not gonna be a sleazeball. That's how good men think, right? And she put him in that good guy mode and expected him to just turn out and go into bad boy mode. It's fucking stupid. So this guy says, if girls weren't so indecisive and subtle with their hints that they liked me, then maybe I would have pursued them. I'm sick of this whole let's dance around the idea of me liking you and drop stupid hints. Like, just talk to me normally for Christ's sake. I really knew a few girls liked me through high school and whatnot, but I seriously wasn't ready for a relationship at the time. I've grown as a person and learned a shit ton these past few years. I was not prepared for a relationship, let alone actually having the energy to keep one going. It just sucks extra now because dating in adulthood sucks compared to high school. And then the guy under him says, yeah, I would rather you just not do anything. It's so passive aggressive, just be assertive. Really, they just want to have their way without taking the risk. I think that guy that replied to him is me. I feel like that's something I would say. Like, this thread is like 2 years old, but I swear I feel like that's something I would say. Goddamn. But dude, obviously, I totally agree though. I wish to me, I'm not one of these guys that's gonna say, "Oh, girls need to talk. Girls need to initiate." I don't give a fuck about that shit, but it's whatever. I understand completely why women don't want to do it, but what bothers me is the passive aggressiveness. It's the coyness about it, like the games. That's what I don't like. Like, I get it. You don't want to ask guys out first for whatever reason. You know, maybe because you understand that it's a power move. Maybe you're just not interested enough in him to make the first move. Maybe it's one of your principles. You know, some girls are like, you know, I don't find a man. The man find me. Like, some girl, I got you. That's cool. That's fine. Whatever. I get you. Like, no problem. But when you do when you go halfway with the shit, like when you trying to get guys' attention in a roundabout way, to me, it's so childish. It's so childish. And, you know, given the fact that most of these stories come from like girls in like high school and middle school, I can't really complain because that's when you are going to be childish. But there are even adult women who do this. We all know that. And yeah, that's really more so my issue with it. It's just like, look, do it or don't. Do it or don't. Right? Do it or don't. Do you like me or not? You gonna ask me out or not? You know, because that's how I feel about girls. Like, I'm gonna do it or I'm not. I'm not gonna try to, okay, let me manipulate the situation to try to, all right, I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna grab a slice of pizza, and then I'm gonna hand it to her, and then I'm gonna look like 180 degrees. Like, I'm not gonna do all these little stupid little games and rituals to try to convince somebody to ask me out. I'm gonna do it or I'm not. That's how I think. And I think as women, I'm not gonna tell you to ask guys out first because you have too many reasons not to. But all I'm saying is that for me, I think I'd rather you do it or you don't. I don't like the whole choosing signals. I hate that shit. Honestly, to me, it's absolutely childish. It's immature. It's juvenile. Oh boy. I kind of went in. Okay, so that was the thread of the day. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And next, we are going to get to the comments. So stay tuned. Okay, so now we have the comments. So let's get right into it. So, oh God, excuse me. So, haha, what a story mark says on the Nightwalk vlog, episode 20. I took the black pill. Hold up. God damn. He says, what you said at the end is very true. I am probably above average looking, but it isn't really worth the effort to completely sacrifice my time, effort, money on an average girl that will probably end up being unfaithful to me because, being honest, she probably could do better if she wanted to. She could at least attract Chad on a dating app and hook up with him. Everything is so distorted now, and the game is really not worth playing unless you're in the top 5% or so. I would rather focus on other things in life that give me some sort of satisfaction instead of rolling the dice on an average girl. I always use the basketball analogy in my head as well. Why would I put years of effort, money, training into becoming an NBA player if I was 5'5", just because it might work out in a 0.00001% of cases? It would be delusional. Participating in a game where the rules already put you at such a huge disadvantage, and where the reward is not even that great, just isn't worth playing. And those are my thoughts exactly. I mean, I never try to discourage other guys from trying, because you can find success in dating even as an average guy. Even as an average guy, there's a lot of average guys who are doing quite well, right? But I think on the other side of that coin, there's a lot of guys, again, relatively average, above, below, incel tier, who are just straight up suffering. It's just straight up suffering. And I think every guy kind of has to do like a self-assessment and try to figure out, how bad do you want it? Do you, given your value on the dating market and the odds that you have to deal with when playing this game, is it worth it to you? And if you feel like it's worth it, go ahead. But, myself and haha, what a story mark included, like guys like us, we're just like, nah. Guys like us, it's just like, nah. And I think that's why you see things like MGTOW. That's why you see guys going their own way and shit like that, because it's gotten to the point where it's like the cost and the risk just isn't really worth the reward. A lot of guys like us, like, we can't, it's not like we're gonna have options with like the girls that we really like, like the real, like the girls that we really like are gonna be out of our league. And even if we could get them, the cost, like, what's the cost of even trying to get them and maintain that relationship? And I think basically what I'm seeing is dating has just gotten to the point where it's not worth it for a lot of guys who kind of occupy that level of averageness. Like, it's just not worth it. Some guys will say fuck it and play and find success. Some guys will just say fuck it and just say fuck it altogether and go their own way or embrace the single life. But again, I always try not to be too pessimistic, because I don't want to discourage guys who really want that. I think it's easy for me to say because I was never hell bent on having a family or getting into a relationship anyway. So I try not to discourage other guys, but that's just what I'm seeing. That's just the state of dating that I'm seeing. I do think that it's gotten a lot harder for average men, and competition is very fierce. And I think where it's at now is almost like you seriously got to consider taking yourself out the game. So Heffalump 111 says on the Black Pill Nightwalk vlog, I don't mean offense, but could you kind of sum it up in 2 to 3 minutes instead of 30? Write too long, didn't read in the description, something like that. Watch the 30-minute video. Shit, that's the point of a vlog. Goddamn. So the Real Legend says on the Nightwalk vlog, I took the black pill. LOL, you pushing your debt pill in the description like it's 2012 and not 22. Oh yeah, 2022. That's where I upload my mixtape still. But Flim says, I told him he should move over to Bandcamp. Unlimited free storage, unlike SoundCloud, won't ever wind up canned for hate speech, disinformation like you on YouTube. Not ancient and slow performing like Dat Pimp. And you know what? That's good advice. I went ahead. I already had a Bandcamp, but I only used it to put the Robot Music 9002 up there. But I went ahead and decided that I'm going to be uploading, like, not immediately, but over time, I'm going to be uploading a lot of my stuff over to Bandcamp, because SoundCloud does have that limit. SoundCloud does have a limit as far as how much you can upload, and you know YouTube is very volatile. So I'm gonna be uploading a lot of my old stuff to Bandcamp and new stuff as well. It's just that, you know, I gotta get used to going over there, because I'm just not used to going to Bandcamp. And Tactical Apathy says, yeah, I like Marco, but dude needs to up his exposure game. These 30 to 100 views per video won't cut it. Absolutely not. But, you know, shit, man. It's one of those things where it's like, you gotta find different places where you can promote your music. But it can be difficult because, you know, people aren't really, for the most part, like, welcoming for like some random artist just coming into their space trying to promote themselves. I was very lucky that the people on R9K really kind of took a liking to me. And that's what really allowed like my initial subscriber surge like years ago. But it's just, maybe I should look more into it. I'm welcome to any ideas. But without a doubt, promo is not my strong suit. Definitely promo is not my strong suit. It's definitely something that I'm gonna work on. But again, it's not easy to find spaces that are just going to actually give you a chance and listen to what you have, because the first thought anybody has is like, oh, he's a shield, get rid of him, you know. So you got to be careful about like where you try to take your product and promote it. And you know, a lot of it too is just luck, you know. And for all I know, my YouTube channel could be shadow banned. I have no idea. Like God damn, I thought I already put that shit in. I'm trying to download some porn while I'm doing this. But yeah, I have. It seemed like there was a point when my subscribers were just going up and up and up, and then I just hit like a glass ceiling or something. But that's the goal for the summer. We're gonna try to break into the 3,000 to 5,000 range this summer. So on the Ballad of Kentre Brown official video, Redo says, Chad, you forgot the jean shorts. And then I said, I'm not that dedicated. Dude, fuck jean shorts. I would never wear jean shorts. Just look so tacky, bro. Like, what the hell? Oh man, like my fashion sense isn't that great, but jean shorts just, God, it's something about it. Like, it just screams, I'm 40 years old. I'm 40 years old and my life is in a downward spiral. So Flim says, did you layer on the antique camera effect filter to try to mask the debris on the camera lens? Exactly. When we were filming, I don't know when it happened, but something was on the lens and we could not get it off. And I still can't get it off. Like I've gotten some of it off, but not the whole. Like, I don't know what it is. I might have to buy a new lens, but there's something on the lens and it just can't be rubbed off. I think it's on like the inside of it or something like that. But I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to fix it, but I might have to buy a new lens. So I was like, oh yeah, but I'll just put the what they call it, that grain effect. I was like, that'll cover it up. But obviously Flim, he pointed that out quick as fuck. But look, man, you gotta do what you gotta do. Shit happens, man. But the good thing about making videos, each time I learn something new about like different obstacles we can run into. The first time it was the batteries, so I had to buy more batteries. This time it was the debris on the lens, and so I worked around it the best I could in editing. But you know, it was kind of sucks, but I also learned a bit more about, you know, cleaning lenses and the value of having multiple lenses. So Joe Rogan, Manlet Rage says, how's Kent? The fuck was that? He says, how's Kent doing these days? Last I heard, he had a girlfriend, but now they're broken up, which isn't a big deal. You know, relationships begin, relationships end. But I think overall, Kent seems to be in a much better headspace. You know, he went through his whole like lone wolf, pseudo MGTOW phase. And he just, from what I've seen, he seems much more content with himself. And he had a girlfriend, so I'm sure he got his dick sucked and all that. So if nothing else, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be killing himself or anybody else anytime soon. So Hellbreaker says, no Bloodborne on the Chad Marco Yakuza Like a Dragon stream. And by this point, I've already been playing Bloodborne. But the last stream I did, I turned the mic off and I said, let me just focus on making progress because I'm completely stuck. And I spent 2 hours wholeheartedly looking, trying to figure out where I needed to go, and I couldn't figure it out. And it's not a big deal, but I'm kind of like, I have like this personal vendetta right now about trying to figure out where to go in that game. But yeah, we're playing Bloodborne right now. And I don't know what I'm gonna play after that though. Maybe Grand Theft Auto 5. Maybe Grand Theft Auto 5. Oh god, that'll be that's good. It could be Grand Theft Auto 5 or Persona 5. So Moonbase Monk Mode says on the post I made, warm weather power level is coming back. Definitely, bro. I walked out thinking time for new running shoes. By summertime, I think I'm taking boxing classes too. I found a Japanese run gym in my city too. That's great. I want to take like a fighting class, but I want to do Brazilian jiu-jitsu. That's what I want to do. I want to do grappling, you know, because I don't want to get punched in the head too much. So I think I'd rather go for something like grappling, but definitely learning how to fight is on the menu for me as well. So Eric Williams says on the tale of Chad Marco's biggest crush, that awful feeling when you know you don't have a chance. Yeah, I knew, man, with her, old big booty. Oh man, I'm pretty sure she had a boyfriend at the time anyway. But yeah, I definitely was like, yeah, just no hope. And even more so now, because back then I didn't realize the importance of penis size. And my dick is so small, it's no way we would have been sexually compatible. You know, I would have barely been able to get past the cheeks. So, oh man. So Humongous says on the same video, the only problem with asking out sexy retail workers is that if they say no, going back to the store would be awkward as fuck. Make sure it's not your favorite store. If the goods that you buy are not worth never buying again, then just stay solid. That's another thing too, because every time you go in there, it's going to be a little awkward, right? I think it's much easier when it's a store you don't go to a lot, but yeah, just like he said, man, it's going to be awkward. It's going to be awkward if you go in there. Regularly after asking her out, it's like, because you got to always see her. And then on top of that, like, she probably done told people like, oh, this nigga tried to talk to me. You know how girls are. It's crazy. On the same video, Puppet Master Reloaded says, for your songs, what plugins do you use for vocals? Thanks. I'm going to just do some more the process videos so I can give you guys a better idea how I get down. So look forward to that. So yeah, I'm going to just put out some more of the process videos. So on the same video, Density says, it really do be like that, bro. Some girls leave you shell shocked. Yeah, she was. I still feel good when I think about it though. Like damn, like she was the. I ain't gonna say she was the one. That's some blue pill bullshit. But she was just so much my type. Just that's really what it was. It was just like, she was just that girl that. she was just that girl that I just had a very high level of attraction to. She was that girl, like, you know how in the movies, the protagonist, they'll just be living their life, and then they see a girl, and then the camera zooms into her face, and then the guy's looking at her, and he like, yeah, that's I want that right there. She was that for me, bro. Like, she was that girl that was just like, yeah, I want that right there. I want that. But again, I knew I didn't have a chance, and so I never, you know, as good of a story as it was, you know, the underlying fact was that I always knew I didn't have a chance, so I never did anything about it. I feel you on avoiding chicks, bro. Oh yeah, Matthew Hernandez says, I feel you on avoiding chicks, bro. There's this chick at work I'm scared of, but I need to make a move before it's too late. Hey, I mean, I hate to sound like a book of cliches, but you know, you missed every shot you don't take. I can't even get excited about saying it. But you know, it's true. If you really like her, you know, go ahead. I don't have any regrets. I don't have any regrets about not asking her out. Because look, I'm still a virgin, I'm still single, and that's worked out for me. So I can't be mad about it. I don't feel bad about it. I don't think it was healthy anyway. The way I was thinking about her, I was too focused on her, and I think that's very bad. When you're a young man trying to get into dating and sex having, it's never good to be fixated on one person. That's a horrible mentality to have. If I were to try to date and have sex now, my mindset would be not to focus in on any particular girl, but just to really kind of play the field. You know, not like I'll be slutting around, but like just be open to meeting to be meeting several women around the same time. You know, that would be my mindset. Don't have crushes. Don't be fixated on one girl, because if you get rejected, I think it's going to be more devastating. I think it's better to have a mindset of, okay, I'm gonna try to play the field a bit and see what my options are, and get to know several different people, and just see what I can make happen, as opposed to just, you know, trying to jump up out of nowhere when you have a crush. I don't think that's healthy. I don't think it's a good mindset to have. So Chris Lim says on the Tricks Are Us Botcast, hey Chad, be careful on cryptocurrency and NFTs. There's a lot of rug pull and scams in the industry, especially be wary of cryptos advertised by influencers. Check out Spencer Cornelius' channel here to check out the scam and rug pulls on crypto. Yeah, thank you for the info. I've heard of that too. Like, people try to promote a certain currency, and then they'll get people to invest, and then they'll just pull the rug out, right? So it's like they get people to invest in it just to get the value up, and then they'll sell, and then just run for the hills pretty much, and just again, the whole thing is kind of sketchy. Let's be real. But I think as long as you only invest what you're willing to lose, that's my mentality. Only invest what you're willing to lose. And I think as long as I play it like that, then I don't have anything to worry about. Okay, so this is a long one. Humongous says this was the What's Most Important Nightwalk vlog. I know exactly what you mean. This is real long, by the way. You were never satisfied with being like the rest. We may have tried to be like the normies at one point, but it never happened because it was never meant to be. We are put on the path we are meant to walk down so we can learn and experience what we are destined to, but this mountain analogy spoke to me. Back in 2014, I was a skinny tween virgin playing Halo one day. Slayer. Didn't do very well, got a message from someone that said noob, and something was triggered inside me. A fire screaming, prove him wrong. All of them, reach your maximum potential. Right around this time, I was getting into weed, which opened up my mind to my errors. Why am I trying to be accepted by popular normies? Why am I trying to impress people I despise? And the change took form. Went from kissing up to them to insulting them. kept seshing, started ditching, got into Nirvana, had the bombastic anti-status quo persona that was always hiding inside. Now I got spark, flame, life. My Halo performance increased. Had 2 high school girlfriends, lost virginity, got into the invasion playlist to satisfy my urges for long battles and high kill counts. After 1 game of slaying, I was invited by max ranks to play performance increase. Had 2 high... Oh, wait. I kind of rewinded a little bit there. Okay, I was invited by max ranks to play with them on their team, and things exploded. So many friend requests. Rolling with the toughest fuckers in the playlist, watching them play masterfully, learning their tricks, mastering them myself. My KD spread increasing rapidly, 12k kills, 10k deaths, 16k kills, 12k deaths, 25k kills, 15k deaths, 50k kills, 23k deaths, and 90k kills, 30k deaths when I reached max rank of inheritor. Just 1 year later, I was one of them now. The invasion playlist died out in 2019. Many of my invasion only friends stopped playing, but I found refuge in other cool playlists. Big Team Battle, Rumble Pit, Multi-Team, Team Slayer, Team SWAT, Anniversary Classic. Quickly gained rapport with the tough people in each playlist. Went from being on an invasion team to being the party leader and commanding teams in BTB and Team Slayer. And eventually I became one of the most widely recognized, respected, and deadly inheritors. Transferred my teamwork and determination skills to jobs in the real world. I watched each playlist die. Multi-Team, 2019, Rumble Pit, 2020. Okay. that post went on. But we're going to cut it short there because I get the gist of it. But I got to say, I know some people might say, it's just gaming. It's just a video game. But still, I'm very impressed by that. You look at the progress that he made and the decision that he made to reach the top of his game in this particular game, because I have a lot of respect for guys who, even if it's guys who set out to master a certain video game, whether it's speed runners, especially guys in the fighting game community. I have a lot of respect for these guys because it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort. Takes a lot of smarts and dedication, regardless of what your field is, to push yourself, to take your talent to its peak, to rise and climb that mountain to the top. It's a beautiful thing. And that's really what my ultimate goal in life is, and not just as far as like music, but just anything that I'm really passionate about. I just want to always make sure that I'm pushing myself and that I have a mindset of, at least being competent, but with the things that are most important, I want to be a master of, but I got to say, like me personally, I find this pretty impressive. Goddamn, 90k kills, 30k deaths. Goddamn, look at where he came from. 12k kills and 10k deaths to 90k kills and 30k deaths. That's amazing. That's fucking amazing. But let's end this off with a. What's the word I'm looking for? With a reminder, a self-reminder for everyone here, for everyone listening. Let's truly dedicate ourselves to climbing that mountain, that personal mountain that we all have within, that personal mountain of achievement. Let's reach that top. Let's see what it looks like. I want to see what it looks like. Let's rise to the top of that personal mountain. And let's see what they see. Let's see what it's like, the view from the top. All of us, every single one of us. Yes, you too, and you. Let's do it. Let's make it happen, baby. So I hope you guys enjoyed that episode of the Botcast, and I'll be returning soon with more of everything that's awesome about Chad Markham. So, Johnny.